Hey guys, welcome back. We're here to talk fantasy football for week 8. Hit us with your questions, starts it, waiver wire trade, whatever you got, we're here for it. We're going to be here for about 3 hours, like usual, here to help you because we want you to win. That's it. That's the end game. That's what it is. The mystery is solved. That's our fantasy end game. Um, man, it's been an interesting week already. It's like every day just hitting us with major news, and we have another wide receiver who's been traded. I don't know. I don't know if I saw this one coming. I mean, sometimes you hear rumors and you hear names go about, and you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's probably not happening. It happened. DeAndre Hopkins and the Chiefs found themselves a receiver who might actually be healthy for now. The question now, Chris, I mean, it's not whether this is an upgrade or whether it's a massive upgrade. The question is how much, but also, are you buying into DeAndre Hopkins as a Chief?
I think you have to. You have to buy into him as a Chief. I don't expect prime DeAndre Hopkins. Remember, he had an injury in the offseason. He hasn't quite looked 100% this year, which makes sense that the Chiefs would go out and get a banged-up wide receiver, but he's going from either Will Levis or Mason Rudolph to Patrick Mahomes. He's going from that Tennessee offense to this Andy Reid offense. Like, at a minimum, he's going to be an every week starting wide receiver now because he's going to get the targets and they're going to be catchable targets, and he's still good enough. Like, again, we're not going to see, prime D-Hop anymore, but he's one of those guys kind of like, I feel like Larry Fitzgerald towards the end of his career where, like, if you played fantasy back then, you know what I'm talking about, but he was a guy like, no, he didn't win you weeks by himself or anything, but he never really lost you weeks. He was always like, you knew you were always going to get points. He always had a floor. I think that's what D-Hop's going to be in this situation.
Interesting comparison. I didn't think about that. Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah, a guy who isn't going to beat, the corners down the field anymore necessarily. Not that he was ever that kind of receiver per se, but still dependable, going to collect those targets. Definitely a red zone threat. But
Yep.
I mean, it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. And they honestly have nobody other than Xavier Worthy, who is just that, like go route or nothing, basically. And I mean, because Juju's hurt. Who honestly, who Justin Watson, I think is still there.
Yeah, McCole Hardman.
Somebody,
I mean, yeah, it's D-Hop. Like, D-Hop, again,
Hardman.
remember, he just got traded today. He's only going to get really a couple days of practice in. I wouldn't want to start D-Hop this week unless I was desperate. But after that, you're going to definitely want to start D-Hop.
We saw, it could go either way. Amari Cooper scored a touchdown because of that play. I mean, he managed to do something in his debut. Devontae Adams didn't do much of anything in his debut. But I guess the nice thing here is this doesn't affect anybody else negatively because there's no targets to share. Because, like I said, there's nobody else in that Chiefs offense who's getting targets. And I already know. I know the answer to this, but we have to talk it out, right? We have to let the people know because they might not know. Is it possible? Is it conceivable that with DeAndre Hopkins gone and vacating targets, again, hypothetically, that this in some way, somehow helps Calvin Ridley or any Titans pass catcher?
I mean, he'll probably get more targets now, but who cares? Like, if they're not catchable, like, who cares, right? I mean, it's not like he's got 17 targets over the last 2 games and he has 4 catches. Like, what? You can give this guy 20 targets. Is it going to matter? Like, really? Like, no. I'm still out. I'm still out on Calvin Ridley and the Titans passing attack. Out.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, it's still Mason Rudolph or Will Levis. I don't know. I don't know what is this. I feel like this seems like not just because they traded D-Hop, but also the move to Levis, and I don't know. I feel a little bit of tank action here. Do you think the Titans are just saying like, you know what, we're gonna get our guy quarterback next year in the draft? I don't know. Is that just is a little bit too conspiratorial?
I mean, maybe, but I'm sure that's that's probably where they should be at. But trading D-Hop to me doesn't signal a tank. We're talking about a 32-year-old wide receiver getting paid whatever he was getting paid. Like, yeah, you're not going anywhere this year. You move on from your 32-year-old wide receiver for sure. For sure.
Yeah. And also, for what it's worth, Traylon Burks on IR. Not that he was coming through big or anything like that. Tyjae Spears is hurt. Yeah, this is now it's now some tough competition for the worst offense in the league.
Yeah.
Cleveland might pass them by now that Jameis Winston's in there. So now we might see Tennessee as that team to stream against. Look, new head coach, he probably wants to mold this offense in his vision. So at this point, why not? Why not just play for next year? But yeah, that's interesting. And speaking of rebuilding and bad offenses, Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is back at quarterback. Is this just the car accident and the Andy Dalton spraining his finger? Or is this like, okay, yeah, you can go back to the bench now after the last 2 weeks? You think it's a little bit of both?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, he was terrible the last couple weeks. So why not just go back to Bryce Young and see if maybe sitting on the bench for a few weeks helps him out? But man, you can't feel good now. You certainly cannot. Like we said in the wide receiver video, we're avoiding Deontay Johnson this week with like Pastor Tan. He's still technically in the concussion protocol, but Sean Payton said optimistic that he's going to play on Sunday. I'm sure he will. You cannot start Deontay Johnson this week. I mean, he was horrible with Bryce Young, and now he's got to face Pastor Tan. Like he's unstartable this week. I will. Unless you're asking me like Deontay Johnson or I don't know. I don't even know. Like what wide receiver? I don't even like.
And
Deontay Johnson or Nick Westbrook or Keenan. Okay, I might say a Deontay Johnson. That you know what I mean? It's got to be somebody like really, really irrelevant for me to even say Deontay Johnson. But also this hurts Chuba Hubbard, who, was looking like maybe right now the waiver wire pickup of the year, assuming he wasn't drafted in your league, which deeper leagues he was drafted, but a lot of more casual leagues he wasn't. Because he wasn't, this you got to think this offense. I mean, we even saw the last 2 weeks this offense not very good. With Bryce Young, this offense, it might go back to being a complete train wreck. So yeah, you got to downgrade all the Panthers here.
Agree. Deontay is just no. You can't. I mean, it was already a bad matchup, but now with Bryce Young, I mean, it's frustrating because it seems like now you can't even trade him. Or should you try?
I mean, I would try because, like, are they gonna go back? Like, are they gonna do this whole thing? Like, are they gonna put Bryce Young in, and then if Bryce Young struggles, are they gonna go back to Andy Dalton? Like, are they gonna do this to Bryce Young? So, yeah, I would just try to trade Deontay Johnson, but I don't know if you can. But I would try.
Things change so quickly in the NFL.
Yep.
And you never expect it. Starting early today. We're going to answer your questions. And we'll definitely talk Hopkins and fantasy fallout and what do you trade and who should you be buying low and selling high. We'll get to all that. First, let me remind you that before tomorrow night is the start of week 8, Thursday Night Football. Matthew Stafford still around, as far as we know. Cooper Kupp should be making his return, also still a Ram, as far as we know. So here's the good news. If Matthew Stafford gets 1 yard, just 1 yard, and you get the higher on this pick, you get a free pick here, you win, take the higher. If you're a new customer on Underdog, you sign up. That's it. That's all. Just Stafford getting a yard. Total yards here, 0.5. He can run for it, and you win this pick. You get this if you're new to Underdog. You're signing up for the very first time, but you have to use promo code ENDGAME in order to get the free pick, and also you still get a deposit match of 50% up to $1,000 worth of bonus cash. So definitely worth it. Check it out if you haven't already. Just sign up on Underdog, use code ENDGAME, make your picks, And you've seen already, if you've watched our videos for this week, or if you haven't yet, we tell you some of the picks we like, some of the early lines to take. It's really good to try to get these picks earlier in the week before things shift and move. That's when we like to take advantage of things that we think are going to happen. And so it's a good time to do it. And it doesn't have to even be the NFL. If you're in the NBA, that's right. NBA season is here. The World Series is going on, hockey season, all sorts of things. You have a lot of options, not just NFL football and, of course, a full day of college football on Saturday. There's just so much to try. If you haven't tried it yet, you should do it. And then I also need to remind you, before we get to your questions on here, which we will answer as many as we can, we answer all the questions that come through on Draft Lane. We had a ton today. In fact, that's a reminder. We need to go through these as well as soon as we're done on here, because we had a lot, which is great to see. Glad you guys are trying it out. It's completely free to download. App Store, Google Play Store. It's basically just like what we're doing here. You ask a question on the Draft Lane app, we answer it. We can check your rosters. We can check your waiver wire. We can check your league mates. If you ask a trade question, answer a question. Definitely worth it. Check it out now. It's called Draft Lane. It gets you in direct contact with us for everything fantasy football related. All right, let's get to the first. You know what? I think it's only fitting. Start talking about D-Hop. Let's do Ravin Saju. Welcome, Ravin. Drop either Downs or Tolbert for Hopkins.
Yeah, I think you probably should. I think I'm going to drop Tolbert. I know Downs with Anthony Richardson isn't fun, but I got to think, like, it can't be this bad all season with Anthony Richardson, right? Like, he's got to complete more than 10 passes. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it is, but I think I definitely think you need to drop one of these guys for Hopkins. And I think my choice is going to be Tolbert.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to give up. Okay, so like I don't want to start Downs this week because we've seen exactly how much Anthony Richardson negatively affects him. But I also don't want to drop him. And really, it's just because I'm holding out hope. I know this sounds bad. Holding out hope that Joe Flacco becomes the quarterback. I'm not hoping AR gets hurt. That's not what I mean. I'm just hoping somehow Flacco is back at quarterback. So, yeah, I think Tolbert's the one you can drop. You got to do this. Actually, I'm going to bring this up. This wasn't one of the first questions. This just popped up. But I think this is worth exploring. Again, not going overboard here, but Coach Doug wants to know, does Tyler Boyd at least become relevant? Let's just put it that way. Can you consider picking up Tyler Boyd? Because look, because basically nobody has him in fantasy. So, no.
I wouldn't even pick up Calvin Ridley if somebody dropped him. No, sure, Tyler Boyd will probably see more targets now, but they're empty targets. They're, you know what I mean? It's like getting a bump. It's like getting more targets from Deshaun Watson or something. It's like, okay, great. You could say, hey, he's one of those guys we'll talk about, like, oh, Tyler Boyd is getting like 7 targets a game now. Like, he should be doing better, but it doesn't matter because it's the quarterback situation there is a nightmare. So yeah, I'm just staying away from the Titans passing attack.
You know what's interesting is looking at the season stats here, DeAndre Hopkins and Tyler Boyd, their numbers are almost identical so far in the season. Like, Hopkins wasn't clearly ahead of him in terms of targets or receptions. So that also makes you think, why wouldn't they trade him, right? Obviously not going to win anything this year, but also, aging receiver, move on. But that goes back to the fact that Hopkins really had not done much of anything this year. So, talk about vacated targets. We're talking a total of 21 vacated targets over 6 games. It's not a lot. Not a lot. And last week, Mason Rudolph's the quarterback now. Yeah, last week with Mason Rudolph, he got 1 target, 1 catch for -2 yards. That's what he's handing over to Tyler Boyd, like those years. So I'm going to agree. A deep league, sure. but that's about it. Sean, dude, try to get D-Hop by giving up Etienne.
Yeah, why not? Like, well, what's the expectation for Travis Etienne at this point? Like, just give me D-Hop. I'll just gamble on D-Hop.
Yeah, I much prefer to picking up off waivers for a guy like Tolbert, but that's not realistic. You know, some people did hold on to Hopkins. For Etienne, sure. I don't have high hopes for Etienne anymore. Not that I really did in the first place. All right, Black Bag was first. Let's do him. Waddle or Dobbs? Half PPR.
Ooh. Man, right off the bat. Very hard to bench Dobbs right now.
Yeah, we did just talk about Dobbs, and you guys are going to see. I mean, you have to like Dobbs this week. Man, I mean, I'm going to assume Waddle just goes back to what he should have been before Tua got hurt. Like basically a weekly wide receiver 2 with upside.
Yeah, that's kind of what Dobbs has been. I mean, yeah, I probably got to go Waddle here because Tua is back, but oh man, there's part of me that feels like it should just be Dobbs, honestly.
This is tough. These are both options. So push comes to shove. You're going Dobbs?
I'm probably going Waddle, honestly. I'm probably going Waddle, but man, I'd be very nervous with Dobbs on my bench. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say Waddle, but I'm also the one who's going to talk up Dobbs in the Booms video. This is tough. Both have good upside. Anthony Maldonado, 1 Snow, starts at PPR, 3 receivers and a flex. Neighbors, McLaurin, possibly with Marcus Mariota. MHJ, Brian Thomas, Waddle, Rome, Garrett Wilson, or Leggett. We need 4 of these guys.
I mean, Leggett, I guess don't drop him yet, but man, with Bryce Young, he's going to be unstartable. Neighbors for sure. I think Waddle is my second. I think Garrett Wilson is still my third, and Brian Thomas is my fourth.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to move McLaurin down a notch here if Mariota's starting, which I think he's going to.
Not only that, not just Mariota, but also he's going to face Jalen Johnson this week of the Bears. So it's like a double whammy. It's like bad QB play against a tough matchup. Just, yeah.
And the frustration of Marvin Harrison. I don't think you have to deal with it. Here's the good news, Anthony. You got Neighbors, yes. I'm starting Waddle. You can start Garrett Wilson, and you can start Brian Thomas. Let's just avoid the headaches here. Juice. Got the membership, of course. 14-teamer. Kyler Gibbs, Mason, Devontae, Waddle, Ingram, Dobbs. All right. Bateman, Bigsby, Ray Davis, Harrison, Jennings, McConkey, McMillan. All right. Someone had a successful waiver run. Any changes? Is Russ worth playing over Kyler?
I'm not playing Russ over Kyler. Gives Mason good. Adams, Waddle good. Do I play Jennings? No. Yeah, I think you're good. I think that's the lineup I go with. I'm at this point, if we can bench Marvin Harrison, we got to bench Marvin Harrison. At some point, it'll probably turn around for Marvin Harrison, but until it does, just keep him on your bench.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, if I know he's out of the hospital, but if Debo is still somewhat limited or questionable or out, whatever, I might just go Juwan Jennings over a guy like Devontae Adams. But for now, I think you're good.
Have we gotten an update on Juwan Jennings, by the way?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Like Jennings didn't even play. I haven't heard anything about him specifically in terms of injuries, so I'm hoping he's good to go. Let's see. Rank these pickups. Okay. Wow. Interesting. This is non-PPR. If you had to choose between Jennings, who had been the number 1 pickup, D-Hop, who now might be the number 1 pickup, or Chris Olave, who really shouldn't be on the waiver wire,
it's Olave is number one. Olave is number one for sure. Like Olave might have the worst week this week of these three guys, although maybe D-Hop, depending on how limited he is. But long term, this is definitely Chris Olave. Like, yeah, if Olave is on waiver wire, he's got to be added.
Yeah, Olave really shouldn't be a pickup. I mean, you got to pick him up. I don't know who else you got. Well, I guess you're going to tell us. Here's another question. This might lead to it. Now, guys, this must be a different league because now it's PPR. So other John needs three of these guys. Bigsby, Monty, Hunt, Mooney, or Olave.
I think I got to go. I think I'm going Hunt, Monty, Mooney in PPR. I'm just not even going to take the risk of Olave with Spencer Rattler. And I'm not going to take the risk of Tank Bigsby potentially getting game scripted out against the Packers if they fall behind by 3 scores. Monty's still a strong start to me. Hunt a very strong start this week against the Raiders. And Mooney a strong start to me against the Buccaneers again. So I'm going Monty, Hunt, Mooney.
Agree. You're going to eliminate the risk here. So those middle 3. Jay, also remember, this is non-PPR. 2 in a flex. Walker, Bigsby, Dowdle, Hill, Dell, Keenan, Odunze, and Tolbert.
All right, running backs going to be Walker and Bigsby. Wide receiver is going to be Hill and Tank Dell. Do I flex Keenan or Tolbert? Let's see. Let's take a look. That's my dilemma. Keenan or Tolbert? Keenan against the Seahawks. Tolbert against the 49ers. No major advantage there. Let's see. Is there a major advantage here for either of these guys? Not really. I might go. I don't know. Probably go. Where are these guys? Let me see. I'm just looking at something to see if I can break the tie here. Keenan, I guess Keenan over Tolbert. Keenan over Tolbert. So Walker, Bigsby, Hill, Dell, Keenan at the flex. Oh, wait, it's non-PPR. Hold on. It's non-PPR? My bad. I might just go Dowdle then. I might just go Dowdle then. Sorry. Walker, Bigsby, Hill, and Dell, Dowdle at the flex.
Yeah, Walker for sure. Bigsby, Hill, Dell. Yeah, I mean, since it's non-PPR, because with Keenan or Tolbert, you're just hoping for touchdowns. Sure, Keenan did get 2 touchdowns last game, but I don't know if I would count on that. So
right.
Yeah, I guess we'll go Dowdle. LEJ which now that I think about it is probably a legend. Would you consider adding an overview to the end of the ranking videos with a list of all players in each tier? You know, we actually did kind of talk about that, didn't we?
Yes, but I'll be honest. I'll be totally transparent here. Here's why we don't do it, because we have talked about it. Because then everybody will just click to the end and look at the rankings. And unfortunately, YouTube, a big part of YouTube is the watch time and people actually watching the video. So yeah, that's why we don't do it, because everybody will just click to the end and won't watch the video. So unfortunately, you got to play the game that YouTube is, and the game for YouTube is to get people to try to watch the video. But I mean, we do put the chapters in there so you can at least, because I'm guessing you don't need to see every running back for every matchup. So if you're like, hey, I'm deciding between 3 guys, you can click to the first game for your first guy, see where we rank them. Then you can click to the second game, see what tier we put them in, go to the third one, see what tier we put them in. But yeah, unfortunately, with the way YouTube is, if we did that, everybody would just click to the end and be like, let me just see the tiers. Okay, there's my guy. Okay, boom. Right. I mean, it's like going to a site and just looking at their rankings, basically. So that's why we can't do it.
Right. And the other thing is, this is why we don't really do rankings per se, publish rankings, because first of all, everything changes every day in the NFL. Like you could say, well, this guy's number 8, this guy's number 9, this guy's number whatever, and then the next day it could change because of an injury, because of a trade, because of whatever. But also, it's just it's more complicated than that. You really need to listen to the reasoning behind it. And if a guy, let's say, Chris, you have a receiver is like the number 15th receiver for that week, and then somebody else 16th, it's not always going to be you're going to have to start player X over player Y, because what if you need more upside? What if you're in a different format, PPR, non-PPR? It just gets way too complicated. So it's the reasoning and the explanation. This is why we spend time to explain things, not just publish rankings. Anyway, so yeah, get the thought, but there's reasons. Python, what's up, Python? Traded Burrow, Mason, and Singletary for Mahomes, Mixon, and Ridley. Talk about buying low. Really was just to get Mixon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you won the trade just for Mixon. Just for Mixon. That's just, you don't have to worry about CMC coming back after the bye. Ridley, Singletary, whatever. Like really whatever. Yeah, of course I prefer Burrow to Mahomes, but Mahomes is okay. And you can always just stream if you want. Yeah, I think you won this deal just for Mixon, just because you got Mixon.
Right. We'll see. We'll see now if Mahomes really does get a bump, at least for fantasy. I mean, obviously it's going to help him in real life to have a receiver he can trust, but be curious to see what happens there. Pedro Navarez, back 5-2. This is 10-team non-PPR again. Goff, Achane, Walker, Najee, Hubbard, B-Rob, JJ, St. Brown, London, Ferg, or Kincaid, or Andrews. You have 3 tight ends here. But we can only start one.
I think you got to go Andrews at tight end and non-PPR. He's got the touchdown upside here. Ferguson also has touchdown upside, but I mean, Andrews has been scoring. Achane, Walker. I'm assuming you're going to need 2 running backs. Achane, Walker, Najee, Chuba, B-Rob. I do like B-Rob, but I think you got to go Achane, Walker. You got to go JJ, St. Brown. If there's a flex. Actually, man, in non-PPR, I might still flex London. Chuba with Bryce Young now. I mean, I do like B-Rob. B-Rob can, of course, score. He's always got touchdown upside every week, but not the best matchup against the Bears. Drake London. I mean, Drake, what did he have? He had like 150 yards the last time he played the Bucs. We just saw Rashad Bateman go for 140, 20 yards in a touchdown or whatever it was. Yeah, I think I'm going Achane, Walker, JJ St. Brown, and then I think even in non-PPR, I'm flexing London.
Yeah, I think you can do that because, normally non-PPR just roll with B-Rob every week, but all of a sudden we got Marcus Mariota at quarterback. Doesn't make me feel great. And then same thing with Hubbard. All of a sudden we got Bryce Young back. Remember what that offense looked like? And even what Hubbard was doing when Bryce Young was quarterback? Nothing. So, yeah, just go with London. All right, Jake the Snake with a pair of questions. First of all, needs 2 receivers in PPR, Addison, Dell, Waddle, Bateman.
I think you got to go Waddle. And I think I like Dell, but let me verify that against the Colts.
Yeah, I do like Dell. I've been saying yes to Dell. Speaking of draft lane, today had some Dell questions. I know why, because he did nothing last week. I'm going with the theory that CJ Stroud at home is much better because statistically he has been, and that the Colts are actually much worse on defense than statistically it looks like. So I kind of like Dell this week.
Yeah, I do too. I like Addison as well. Yeah, let's go Waddle and Addison.
Waddle and Addison. All right.
I mean Waddle and Dell. Sorry, Waddle and Dell.
All right. Yeah, I'm going Waddle and Dell. And then he wants to know, pick up Tua if he's a free agent. I mean, you got Waddle, but who do you have at quarterback?
Yeah, it depends on your quarterback. I wouldn't pick up Tua unless I don't like my quarterback this week. Like if you're not happy with your quarterback, then yeah, you can pick up Tua. But like if you have a good quarterback, I'm not picking up Tua just to pick up Tua.
What if it's Kyler Murray?
Nah, I'm just sticking with Kyler Murray.
I was like, nobody's happy with Kyler Murray these days. So,
I mean, that's true. Nobody
yeah,
is. I don't understand. He just had like a 60 yards rushing and a touchdown. I know the passing yardage isn't there, but whatever. Still scores fantasy points. So I'm just holding. If I have Kyler, I'm just holding Kyler.
Yeah, he's good enough. He hasn't been great. Good enough for now. All right, NTY. In PPR, Mason, Connor, Cook, and Pollard got to sit one.
I think it's got to be Pollard this week. He's got a very tough matchup against the Lions. Third toughest against running backs. I know he's been mostly good this year, but man, he's got the toughest matchup here. Mason should smash against that Cowboys run defense. Connor should smash against the Dolphins. Cook, just always solid. I'm sitting Pollard here.
Yeah, I think the matchup definitely begs you to sit Pollard. And then he's asking if the Green Bay defense is okay. Well, they're going to get the Jaguars. I think that's okay.
Yeah, they should be fine this week. They're not my favorite, but they should be good enough.
Yeah. All right, Tyler C. Again, thank you, Tyler. All right, so he got both D-Hop and Jennings off waivers. That's pretty good. Starting Sun God, pick 2 receivers, Adams, Flowers, Odunze, Jennings, D-Hop. Sadly, no Evans. It's a good thing you got those guys. Just 2? Okay, 2 in addition to Sun God.
I think right now it's Adams and Flowers for me. Haven't heard anything about Flowers' ankle. Assuming his ankle is okay, I'm probably going to go Adams, Flowers. If there's any kind of issue with his ankle, I'll go Jennings over Flowers.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold last week against him too much. Zay Flowers, that is, because he did get rolled up on. So I don't think it was just that he decided to, take the day off or burn fantasy owners. I still like Zay Flowers enough to start him. I would say if, and let's look at the Wednesday. Here we go. If Debo doesn't play or is limited or questionable, and if Jennings does play, meaning I feel like Jennings is going to have to get a big target share, I might play Jennings over Adams. If not, then I'll just go Adams. Too soon for D-Hop, though, for the most part. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, are Cook, Connor, Bucky. Ooh, okay. Do I trade Flowers and one of those running backs for Achane?
I mean, if it's Bucky, if it's Flowers and Bucky, sure, but I wouldn't trade Cook or Connor plus Flowers for Achane.
Yeah, that would be too much. Even then, because look, D-Hop looks like a good pickup. Jennings looks like a good pickup. But you're trading Flowers, all of a sudden, you're thinning out your wide receiver core. So I actually don't know if I like that. I mean, maybe if it's Bucky. That's it. All right, Vinny. What's up, Vinny? Murray, Jawan, Pickens, Hall, Swift, Kincaid, and Mason at the flex. On the bench, it's Harrison, Waddle, DeMario, Pittman, Olave, Donald, Suave. Thoughts? 1 in 6. No way.
I don't think I can bench Waddle for Jennings. I mean, maybe if Debo's out as well, I could bench Waddle for Jennings. But man, with Tua back, you gotta like Waddle again.
Yeah.
I think right now I'm going Waddle over Jennings. We'll see what happens with Debo.
Agree. Waddle should be very startable. Wide receiver too. I don't know why he wouldn't be. But other than that, I mean, you still have good players in your team. I think it's a 10-teamer, so I get it. It's a little tougher competition-wise. You just had some bad luck here. Olave, of course, being out. Waddle being unplayable. Let's hope you get it this week. Yep, make that run. Cody, which is funny. Cody has been dying to trade Pat Mahomes. Maybe he doesn't want to do that anymore. Kyler and Stroud are his QBs, I guess, in one league. Saw the video putting Kyler in solid, Stroud in strong. Okay, so he's basically asking Stroud over Kyler. I got Stroud over Kyler. Do you?
Yeah, this week I'll go Stroud over Kyler because Stroud at home against that Colts defense.
Yep. Got Book off waivers. Very nice. Very nice. AV for 3. Pick 3. Need upside. This is a half PPR facing a stack team. Tank Dell, Harrison, BTJ, Addison, Downs, Pearsall.
I'm going Dell, Brian Thomas Jr., and Addison. I think this is we just talked about Stroud. I think this is a good bounce back for Stroud in this passing game and Tank Dell. This is a great spot for Addison again against his Rams secondary. And then BTJ, I feel like, has been good enough, even though I don't love the matchup this week against Jair Alexander and the Packers. I still like him better than Marvin Harrison Jr. or Downs with Anthony Richardson or Ricky Pearsall. So Dell, Brian Thomas Jr., Addison, my pick. My 3.
That's exactly what I'm going with. Pearsall, stash. You can't play him yet. He's really not going to be that involved. Downs still has Anthony Richardson. And Harrison is just disappointing. And I say that, it's really not that he's been disappointing. His usage has been disappointing. The way they're using him, the way, they're mistreating him. It's not fair. So those are the 3. All right, Kelly, this is an easy one. I normally wouldn't say to drop Deontay Johnson, but for Jalen Waddle, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Elmer Sanchez. All right, starts and rate this team. Got Hurts, Hill, Higgins, Nico, Juju, Pop, Pickens, Odunze. Which, by the way, with Hopkins there and the fact he's going to miss however long, I don't know. I swear they already ruled him out for this week. Can you just drop Juju, or is it worth holding?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hold Juju. I would probably just drop him.
All right, I figured. Hill, Higgins, Nico, Juju, Pop, Pickens, Odunze, Kamara, Bijan, Williams, Irving, Mostert, McBride, one flex, full PPR, 12-man league. All right, so who to start?
Well, Hill and Higgins. You can't start Nico. So Hill and Higgins at wide receiver. I can't really go Javonte over Kamara, can I?
You could, but maybe, you know what? Maybe we're flexing Javonte. If we go Kamara, Bijan, you could flex Javonte, but it's between him and Pickens, basically.
Yeah, but then I got to bench Pickens. It's full PPR. I don't really want to bench Pickens.
I mean, you could bench Kamara. Rattler's still starting.
Yeah, Rattler's starting. It's the Chargers.
Yeah, you know what?
I might go Javonte over. I might go Bijan and Javonte, honestly. And then Pickens.
Let's do it. Bench Kamara.
Yep.
There you go. I'm all for it. Do it, Elmer. Bench Kamara. Don't look back. Richard Anapolsky. Trade away Kamara to get Walker.
Yeah, I'd probably do this. Just give me Kenneth Walker. He's younger. He looks great.
Yep.
He's catching passes. Just give me Kenneth Walker.
I would do it. This is a good time. Walker's catching passes. What else are we waiting for? He's in a better offense. Let's do it. All right. Kind of question that only the crooked Samaritan could ask. Gun to your head. Dowdle or Pitts at the flex and half PPR?
Dowdle. Going Dowdle. He gets the touches. The San Francisco run defense is just kind of mediocre. He could score. He catches passes. I'm going Dowdle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like... Here's the thing. Yeah, Tampa Bay's defense is bad. They're going to give up a lot, but this might not be like the last game based on the injuries there in Tampa for the offense. It might not be a shootout on both sides of the ball, if you know what I mean. In half PPR, you still got to go with the running back. So there you go. Anthony Romsberg. Pick a quarterback, 3 receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. Stroud or Geno?
Stroud, definitely.
Stroud. Williams, guessing Kyron. Williams, Monty, Hunt, Henry. Okay, so 2 running backs. Wow.
Kyron and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Must be starting every week.
3 receivers. Sun God, Dobbs, Thomas Jr., Myers, and Kirk.
Sun God, Dobbs. Ooh, I do like Jacoby this week, and he is back at practice, but I think I still got to go Brian Thomas over him.
Yeah, go the first 3, and then a flex.
Honestly, I think I'm going to flex Kareem Hunt. He's got such a good matchup against the Raiders. He's gets 20-plus touches a game. He's got touchdown upside. I'm going to flex him over Monty and Jacoby.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking one of those running backs. My decision is Hunt or Monty. I mean, technically, I always say the tiebreaker is touches, and Hunt probably getting more touches than Monty, but not that much more. But Monty's been so good. It's the Titans. It's not a bad matchup. Is he going to redeem himself after that fumble last week? Hunt, it's a pretty good spot, though, against the Raiders. Well, the Raiders technically aren't their worst run defense. I might go Monty, but it's a toss-up between Monty and Hunt. Chiefs D or Broncos D?
I mean, I think now it's got to be Broncos. With Bryce Young starting, I think we got to chase that. But they're both great.
Yeah.
They both should be great.
Right. Yeah. You have basically the 2 best choices here. Let's go Broncos. Boswell, RB. Now, real quick, because I was trying to look for injury updates or something. I swear, I have to verify this now. I saw something about Aubrey, the kicker. Something about possibly being in legal trouble. I'm gonna have to look it up now. I don't want to say the
jury
wrong thing.
duty. Jury duty.
What?
Yeah, jury duty.
Is that what it is? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So he's not in jury duty. Seriously?
Yeah. I don't think
The
he's
NFL
going
can't
to.
do something about that.
Yeah, he's been selected to be on a 12-person jury for a felony case.
Okay.
But, I mean, they have to let him out of that, right?
It's the NFL. I'm sure they can work their magic. I mean, if anybody knows how to get around the legal system, it's the NFL.
Yeah, don't even give me started.
All right.
Don't even get me started on a jury duty rant. Jury duty is the dumbest thing ever.
No. All right, let's get to Python. How about this? Let's go to QB rant. Also, he says it worked. We're doing it again. For those who have no idea what this is, it's a thing here. Python asks, which 3 quarterbacks have the most passing yards for the week? And for some reason, it brings him good luck. So let's not mess with it.
This one's actually easy for me, which means I'll probably be wrong. It's Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, and Kirk Cousins.
That was mad quick. I didn't even have time to think about this. All right, you just rattled us. Were you ready for this or what?
No, but I just looked you pulled up the question and I looked at the QBs and I was like, oh, Jordan Love, Jags, yep, for sure. Oh, Kirk Cousins, Bucks, for sure. And I already knew CJ Stroud because the Colts, I know he's going to go 300+ yards this week. So.
All right. So now okay. I won't take too long with this. I'm definitely going CJ Stroud. Got him as one of my favorites this week. I'm gonna go Bryce. No, maybe I shouldn't go Bryce. No, that might be too risky.
Are you gonna go Bryce Young?
I'm gonna go with.
Were you really about to pick Bryce Young?
No, I just wanted to see your reaction.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, and you know what? Why not? Dak Prescott. Dak attack is back. There you go. Good luck. And then we got Richard Anapolsky. Pick one for this week. Reed, Harrison, Mooney, McConkey, JSN.
think it's got to be Reed here against the Jags. I just said Jordan Love is going to be one of the leaders in passing yards. This feels like a good spot for Jaden Reed against the Jaguars. I think he's my pick.
Yeah. The Jaguars matchup is too good to overlook here. And Reed has been good pretty much all year. Let's go Reed. 9-ball Bori, a running back in a flex. Bigsby, Chase Brown, Worthy, Papa, Dunze, McMillan.
All right, running back, I'm going Bigsby. I'm going to flex Pop. I'm going to go back to the well on Pop one more time here, assuming he's good to go and there's no illness thing. I saw a stat today from Jacob Gibbs about Pop. He's got a 40.5% target share with Drake May, which is why I liked him as boom last week. I didn't know he was going to miss half the game with an illness. And against the Jets earlier this year, he had a 38% target share and a 58% receiving yard share. And the Jets rank 4th in cover 1, 6th in cover 4, and he has a 27% target share versus cover 1, a 24% target share versus cover 4, 14% target share versus everything else. So, all that being said, this might be the Pop week. So I'm going Bigsby and Pop.
Yeah, let's just hope he stays out there all game. He should. I would think he should. So Bigsby and Pop it is. Sammy needs one. PPR, Tolbert, Jacoby, Tutu, or McMillan.
I'm going Jacoby here. He's back at practice. The last 2 weeks, I'm like, Jacoby, and then he hasn't played. But I still like Jacoby, even though it is a semi, it's a tough matchup against the Chiefs. But man, Jacoby Myers he's just the guy here. It's like just him and Brock Bowers. That's it. Going to get all the targets. So 2-2, okay, but now we've cut back. Tolbert, maybe. McMillan, I'm just going to go Jacoby Myers here.
I mean, all indications are that Kupp is playing, and the game's tomorrow. So we should be pretty confident he is playing, right? So if I would say Kupp might miss, I might go 2-2 against the Vikings, but it doesn't sound like it. So let's go with the guy who's clearly the number one receiver here, Jacoby Myers. J.R. Fuentes got offered to get Higgins.
Oh, you got to take Higgins.
For Shakir and Irving? Yeah.
Got to take
this. Yeah. Do it. Do it now. Why does somebody it doesn't matter. Dustin Forsberg starts at 12-man PPR. Russ, Nix, Achane, Madison, Dowdle, Mostert, Lamb, DJ Moore, Coleman, Papa, Olave, Tillman, Ferguson, Andrews. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, who are we starting? Who are we sitting? Not sure how many we need, but let's try.
Yeah, I don't mind Nix this week, but I think I'm still going to Russ. I think he has more upside. Man. I guess Achane and Madison. I really don't want to start Madison against the Chiefs, but he gets all the touches there. He catches passes. He could score. I think I'll go Madison over Dowdle. So Achane and Madison. I'm definitely going Lamb. I don't know how many wide receivers and flexes you need, but I probably just go Lamb, DJ Moore, Pop. I already talked about Pop just now. Hopefully you heard that. And then I guess you got to go Andrews at tight end. Let's hope he's not a trap this week.
Yeah, no argument there. Let's go, Bill. Trade Waddle to get Puka and McMillan.
I mean, they have open. It is risky. They have opened Puka's practice window, so that's a good sign. So he could be back anytime in the next 3 weeks. But I don't know. Waddle has Tua back now. He's healthy. I might just hold Waddle here.
Yeah, I'm not yet to the point where I want to trade for Puka. I think I'll wait. I'll wait a little bit. I know, yeah, they opened the practice window. It still could be a couple of weeks out. So.
Right.
All right. And then for me, start 2, flex 1, and sit 1. Henry, I think you have to start him. Hunt,
Yep.
Connor, and well, it's got to be Javonte Williams at least for 2 weeks. It's definitely not Jameson Williams.
Oh man.
So we're just sitting 1.
I really don't want to sit any of these guys.
No.
I
Yeah,
think
the one I
I
would
think
almost
I'm
always say is Javonte to sit, but this week he's probably the best matchup.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting Hunt. I don't really want to sit Hunt, but Javonte gets the Panthers. You obviously, I mean, if there's nobody is doubting Derrick Henry anymore, right? Like I saw something like during that game because it was like the Ravens had the ball with like under 2 minutes to go in the half, and it was like Justice Hill playing all the snaps, and people were freaking out, like, what's going on? Like, have you never Derrick Henry's been in the league, what, 8-9 years now? You still don't know who Derrick Henry is? Derrick Henry is not out there in the 2-minute drill. That's not what he does.
No.
It doesn't. Derrick Henry is like Thanos. He's inevitable. You can't do anything about it. You just deal with it. Connor has just too good of a matchup. He's been too good. So it's between Hunt and Javonte, but Javonte gets the Panthers, and he just destroyed the Saints. Why can't he destroy the Panthers? I guess I'm sitting Hunt, but I like Hunt this week too.
I mean, you got to choose. Hunt's the one. Yeah, Connor against the Dolphins, run defense. Javonte against the Panthers. Those matchups are too good to ignore. All right, it's a good problem to have. Let's answer Just Flow. Mike Evans was dropped. So, should you stash him? Yes. I don't know if you're asking how much fab, but should you drop fab? Yeah. How much would you go for a guy like Evans?
Every penny. Come on, really? Somebody better than Mike Evans is going to pop up on waiver wire this year? Like there's going to be another top 10 wide receiver on the waiver wire this year. It's every penny, every dollar of fab you have, and then just hope it's enough.
Yeah. I mean, I really, well, yeah, actually, I can't even say that because Evans isn't on IR, right? So you can't stash him that way. But still, what is this guy doing? It's like, oh, well, I don't need Evans, but now I can pick up Jalen McMillan. That's going to pay off long term.
People, I don't know. But yeah, you have to. You have to.
You knew better. You didn't drop him. You're picking him up. You're an endgame viewer. All right, let's do Cody Greenwood is back and says that, yes, we did mention something about Deontay Johnson. Would you go Deontay Johnson for D-Hop straight up?
Yeah, I think at this point I just take D-Hop, honestly.
Why not?
Take D-Hop. Why not?
Why not? Do it. Chief Perp, do you think Hopkins? Yes. Hopkins over Dell?
No, I'm still starting Dell this week. I'm definitely starting Dell. Are you saying drop Dell for Hopkins? I'm not dropping Dell for Hopkins either.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, clearly he's worth picking up. He's now the new, if he's dropped somewhere or he was out there number 1 pickup. Yeah, I don't know that I would want to drop Dell. There's got to be somebody else you could drop. But if you're asking to start, no. We're not saying to start Hopkins this week because, there's the risk. It's like Devontae Adams last week. Just didn't have enough time to gel. And I like Dell this week. All right. Ethan Struby is 3-4. He says he made a trade error. Yeah, I think so. Gave away DK and Adunze for Addison and Tracy. Yeah, Tracy's not the kind of guy that should have been traded for. But oh well. We live and we learn. The team is now Lamar, Kyron, Stevenson, Jefferson, Sutton, Pittman, Downs, Ferguson, Addison, Rico, Tracy, Vidal, Jonnu, Tillman, and Davis. All right, let's start with the quarterback. I think it's Lamar. Okay, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and 2 flex.
All right, you're going Kyron to Stevenson, Jefferson, Addison, Sutton will be one flex. I mean, I guess I'll just gamble on Tillman. It's full PPR. I'll just gamble on Tillman. I don't really want to play Pittman or Downs. I don't really want to, like, Rico's okay. You can't play Tracy or Vidal. So I guess Tillman will be my second flex. And then Ferguson at tight end.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. I don't think we have time to dig into this. He says accident, commissioner, forced trade.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see how this trade could go through unless somebody proposed it. I don't know. We don't think we have time to get too deep into this. That makes me very curious. But what's done is done, I guess. I don't think you're going to be able to undo that. Nando, right. Everyone's favorite Latino. Nando's World. Trade Hopkins, Tank for Jennings, Stevenson. I think you got to prefer Hopkins to Jennings for sure.
Yeah, this is really close. This feels very. I think it comes down to what you need more. I think I still prefer Stevenson to Tank, but I probably do prefer Hop to Jennings. So I guess it comes down to what you need more. Like if you're weaker or wider, if you need the wide receiver upgrade, I would take the Hop Tank side. If you need the running back upgrade, I would take the Jennings or Ramondre side.
Yeah, my gut's telling me I like the Hopkins side better because I mean the number one receiver for Kansas City versus the number two. And really, we say the number two, okay, that assumes Debo's healthy and playing, which he should be. But then there's a guy Kittle, and then CMC's coming back. So, yeah, I'm going to prefer Hopkins definitely to Jennings. I like Tank. I still think Tank retains that number one job just because he's been so good. So I'm going to say I'd rather have the Hopkins side. NTY. Tolbert or Lazard, drop one.
Lazard. You can drop Lazard. He's like the wide receiver 3 now in that offense.
Yes. And the big difference here is the Cowboys are one of the most pass-heavy offenses, and the Jets are not. They're actually passing more than I expected, but they're still not a pass-heavy team. Jim Slim, Purdy, or Caleb?
I think I'm going to go Caleb, but I don't feel great about Caleb this week. The Washington defense has been much better lately, but I mean, Brock Purdy down all his weapons. I'm going to go Caleb.
That's the risk here with Purdy. I mean, no Ayuk. Okay. Well, man, if Debo is still in question, getting close to Sunday, I don't want to start Purdy. I think right now we got to say Caleb, even though it's technically not a good matchup for him. But I think right now you got to prefer him. Silas Amr, 2-2 and a flex. Aaron Jones, Kyron Jacobs, Ra, Higgins, and DJ.
All right, got to start Kyron. I think you got to go. Aaron Jones. Oh, man, I like Jacobs, too, against the Packers. But Aaron Jones against the Rams, I think you got to go Aaron Jones and Kyron. You got to start Sun God. You got to start Higgins. You know what? I'm just going to flex Jacobs over DJ Moore. Again, the Commanders' defense has been much better lately. I'm actually going to play the 3 running backs here with the Sun God and Higgins at wide receiver. And then which tight end to trade away, McBride or Ingram, whichever one gives me the best return. Which is probably McBride.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be McBride. You can get back more for, so might as well. Yeah, agree with all that. You're only sitting one of these players. Man, Jacobs gets the Jaguars. I think you got to roll with him. Yeah. It's the return of teeny little super guy.
What's up?
Tua or Darnold?
I'm going Darnold. I like this matchup against the Rams. I think it's going to be a game where he's going to be able to throw the ball fairly easily. They're not going to get a ton of pressure on him. I don't mind Tua this week, but man, for first game in a month, I think I'm just going to play a little safe here and go Darnold.
Man, great. See, now you're making me look like a homer because I'm going to pick Tua. Go Tua pick. Darnold has got a good spot here. I really think that the Dolphins are going to just unleash all the pent-up fury from the last 4 weeks of being the worst offense in the league. I think they're going to light it up. But Darnold's fine too. And then you have Tyreek and Achane. Well, then why not just go all in? Look, just ride or die. The Dolphins light up the scoreboard, you win. If they don't, you won't. Now this one I can take a step back. Jordan Hernandez, Tua or CJ Stroud?
CJ Stroud, definitely.
Yes, I'll agree. CJ Stroud. And then Coach Doug wants to know, because we talked about Draft Lane earlier. You guys know about Draft Lane. It's not that we don't support ESPN. It's that ESPN doesn't support us.
Right.
So it's definitely not happening. Can't guarantee. I don't know. I don't think that'll change real soon. But if it does, we'll let you know. But this is a good time to remind you that we do have an app, and it's called Draft Lane. So just in case anybody has missed it, it's a free download on the App Store or the Play Store. The app is called Draft Lane. It's a way to get directly in touch with us, ask your questions. We answer them just like we're doing on here. You can do it on your phone. So check it out now. It does sync with your Yahoo and Sleeper leagues. You can check out your standings, league history, all sorts of other things. And it gives us a chance to dig into your roster, your waiver wire, and your league mates if you ask a trade question. So it's definitely pretty cool. Get you a little bit more in depth than the live streams. But check it out if you haven't yet. But the next question here is Mickey Morris, Adams, St. Brown, Reed, Cooper, and Waddle needs 3.
It's going to be, oh, man. You got to start St. Brown. He's a must. I was going to instantly say Reed and Waddle, but I kind of want to start Cooper, but maybe still just Reed and Waddle.
I was going to say Reed and Waddle, so maybe that makes it a little bit easier. I mean, Cooper definitely playable, but you have 5 good receivers, so that's a good thing. Brandon Sky wants to rank these. Okay, BTJ, Aaron Jones, Harrison, McLaurin.
Are we ranking them just for this week? I'm going to rank them Aaron Jones, Brian Thomas Jr., Terry, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, normally I would have Terry first, but yeah, Marcus Mariota, no. Yeah, I'll go Jones, Thomas, McLaurin, Harrison. And then Njoku or Ingram? That's a tough one.
Man, I think it's got to be Njoku, though. He's got Jameis Winston. He's going to get a ton of targets. I mean, Ingram, these guys will both probably be good, but I think you got to give Njoku the edge this week.
Thankfully, Winston is the quarterback. So, yeah, let's go with Njoku this week. Now, speaking of that Commanders game, Anthony, what is up? Do you sit and wait to see if Daniels plays or go with Sam Darnold, who's going tomorrow night? Got to decide.
I would just go Darnold. I really don't think JD's going to play. I think they're going to give him a week off, not risk it. So Darnold should be fine. Just go Darnold.
Yeah, I'm really operating on the assumption that Daniels is sitting. Nothing I've heard so far this week. Again, it's only Wednesday, but still, they're definitely making it sound like he's sitting out. And would you start Muth or Hunter Henry this week?
Good question.
That's picking his team. So I get not wanting to have 2 Steelers, but I feel like, I feel like Hunter Henry's basically going to be this week's trap. If Pop Douglas plays,
Yeah, I'd probably just go Muth. Just go Muth. It's a Jet. Hunter Henry against the Jets. Nah, I'll just go Muth.
Yeah. Juicy J. I trade Nico for Jacobs.
Nah, I just hold Nico. I hold Nico. So I mean, maybe you're trading, maybe you're getting Nico. I don't know, but I want Nico here. Remember, this is going to be week 3. So you probably only have this week and then next week, and then hopefully he's back and good to go. I can survive 2 more weeks without Nico. I want Nico.
Yeah, let's say, look, I see that you like maybe you're not thrilled of starting Tank or Hunt every week, but they're fine. They're totally fine. And you have CMC coming back. But here's the other thing: you're 6-1. You can afford to hold on and wait for Nico. You can do this. Yep. Yeah, that's the only thing you do if you're like desperate for a running back, but you're not. Good question, Logan Horn. What do you do with Baker Mayfield? You holding?
Yeah, I'm still starting them this week. I mean, it's not like they're just gonna like only run the ball now. He'll still throw it a lot. I mean, he had 300 plus yards last week with Mike Evans missing almost the entire game. So, and it wasn't like Chris Godwin went for 150 yards last week. Like, he's got Rachaad White out of the backfield. He's got Kate Otten now. They'll throw it near the goal line. He runs a little bit. I'm still starting Baker this week.
I mean, the answer, like it is for many questions, is it depends. It depends who else your other options are. I don't think I mean, he's not where he got to the point where like, yeah, Baker, you're good. Don't have to think about other options. I think you can think about other options now. But it depends what your other options are. Doug Fenton in a 10-teamer needs 2 and 1 to flex. Got Hall, Walker, Mason, Achane, Jacobs, Garrett Wilson, BTJ, Flowers, Addison, Dobbs, Hopkins, and Worthy. This is going to be fun. And then Ferguson or Hawkinson. No.
Definitely Ferguson. Even if Hawkinson plays, he's going to be very limited. So definitely go Ferguson. You got to go Hall and Walker at running back. Who the Ravens get again? Who's Zay Flowers get again this week? The Jets. I might just go Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas Jr. at wide receiver, and then I'm just gonna flex Jordan Mason or Josh Jacobs. Man, which one? Mason or Jacobs?
Yeah, both in really good spots.
Man, you need to trade one of these running backs and get a wide receiver 1, Doug.
Yeah,
full
no
PPR.
kidding.
You don't need 5 good running backs.
Well, I would say that now if you can, or look, Mason in a good spot against the Cowboys. If Mason has a big game, just trade him now, package him with Dobbs or Hopkins and get another stud running back, right? Why not? I mean,
no, get a
stud receiver.
Stud receiver. You need a wide receiver 1. Yeah, you need a wide receiver 1. You can't start all. You got good running backs just sitting on your bench every week, and then you got to start you got to make these wide receiver decisions. I don't know. I might go Jacobs over Mason because it's the Jags, but man, Mason could smash this week too. But I'll go Jacobs at the flex.
Yeah, fine with that. It's got to be a running back. KV Begeman, 10-teamer also, half PPR, quarterback, 2 running back, 2 receivers, 2 flex, no tight ends, thankfully.
I like it.
Brees Hall, Monty, B-Rob, Dowdle, Bucky, London, Olave, Smith, Dell, Myers, Coleman, Tillman, Murray, and Baker.
All right, I'll still go Murray over Baker. Hall and Monty will be my running backs. London and Devonta Smith will be my wide receivers. It's half PPR. I'll flex Brian Robinson Jr. and Tank Dell.
Yep, that's what I would do. Quarterback now, he's got Murray, he's got Baker, but he's also saying he could get Cousins. I wouldn't go after Bo Nix.
I mean, if you want to drop Baker and get Cousins, that's fine, but
yeah, it's fine. Robert Perkey, he of the 30, right? 30 fantasy leagues somehow.
Yes.
All right. So in this league, Cousins, Murray, Henry, K-Dub, Mason, Cup, T, Juju, Kincaid. That's right. He lost all 3 in one fell swoop. Got Dobbs and Jennings off waivers. Nice.
Well, that helps. That helps. I mean, I don't know. You could try to package like Cousins and Dobbs or Cousins and Jennings to get an upgrade at wide receiver, but you still got Kupp, you still got T. But maybe a QB needy team will take Cousins or Kyler, one of those guys, package them with Dobbs and Jennings. I would say go to the team that lost Godwin, Evans, or Ayuk, but that's you. That doesn't really work.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You lost all three of those guys in 1 week. That's insane. Yeah, that's what I would try to do. Trade one of the QBs and then one of those wide receivers you just picked up. Like Dobbs has been playing well. And see if you can get a wide receiver upgrade. If not, you can just roll with Dobbs as your wide receiver 3. He's fine. Or Jennings is your wide receiver 3. I mean, you still got T and Kupp, so.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, unless maybe this is an 8-team league, it's amazing that you still have those players despite losing those 3 players. So you're still very much in it. But yeah, you have to do a little bit of work here. Anthony G. Star 3, Waddle, Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney. Okay, hold on. This is better.
All right.
Like we're missing something. Star 3, Amari Cooper, T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, or Wandale.
I'm going Amari Cooper, T. Higgins, and Darnell Mooney here. Deontay Johnson with Bryce Young, Pat Surtain cannot do it. Wandale Robinson, I mean, you just want like 8 points. Cooper, Higgins, Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, this week Deontay is pretty much an avoid. I mean, it already was tough to want to start him, but now that we know it's Bryce Young, nope. Easily Higgins, Cooper, and then Mooney. Next is Jonathan Cochan. 10-team PPR, starting Hurts, Jacobs, Dobbins, Adams, Higgins, and Kelsey. Flex Devontae Smith or Darnell Mooney.
I see the allure of Darnell Mooney because what he did last time against Tampa, but I don't think I can put him in over Devonta Smith. If you take out, I mean, Devonta Smith has been very good every game this year, except for last week, and that was the Saquon show.
Right.
I'm still playing Devonta Smith over Mooney.
I know it's hard to get the memory of nothing out of your mind, but it should be a better week. And again, they really didn't have to pass the ball. And they weren't going to pass the ball. It was all Saquon. They didn't need to. So they're going to pass the ball a lot more against the Bengals. I'm going Devontae Smith too. This is an interesting one. Oh, and then, let's do a couple of these non-super chats as we catch up here. We do want to make sure we don't leave anybody waiting too long, but this is an interesting question from Stonks in a non-PPR league. Trade Lamar and Diggs for Hurts and Tyreek.
Yeah, I'll just take Hurts and Tyreek. I just think you're getting such a massive wide receiver upgrade, and Hurts still like a top 2 or 3 QB. So, yeah, give me the Hurts Tyreek side.
Absolutely. Quarterback, it's still pretty close. I know Lamar has been much better statistically as of late, but overall, yeah, it's pretty much you're getting a stud QB either way. Give me Tyreek now with Tua back. Let's do Mark Collins. Gonna somehow have to sit either Lamb, Kupp, or Debo in a half PPR league.
I'm just gonna sit Debo here and not risk it. Kupp plays tomorrow, so you got to start him tomorrow, and I'm not starting Debo over Lamb, so Debo's sitting.
Yeah, I think. I'm never sitting Lamb ever. Justin Jefferson, I'm never sitting just Jefferson. Jamar Chase. Yeah. Kupp, I think you pretty much have to start if he plays. So there you go. It's Debo this week. Uwe 2K. We know Uwe from the baseball streams. 1 receiver, a tight end, and 2 flex. McBride, Ingram, Otten, a lot of tight ends. JSN, Tolbert, McMillan, Jennings, and Mostert.
Is it?
You have good tight ends.
Yep. I mean, I feel like I should say McBride, but how long are we going to be like how many like mediocre McBride games are we going to sit? Not mediocre. I shouldn't say mediocre. That's not fair. Like how many just good Trey McBride games are we going to sit through and keep saying like he's a stud. He's a stud. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he hasn't been a stud. He hasn't scored a touchdown.
And it's
He
not
gives you
it's not a
4.
good matchup. It's not a good matchup this week.
I mean, I know Ingram. I mean, I know Otten benefits, but there's no way he's going to start over those two guys. I think I'm fine going Ingram this week.
Yeah, I'd probably go Ingram.
So now we need. I mean, you could technically flex a tight end. You might want to after you see this group. Let's see. A 1 receiver and 2 flex.
No, I'm going Tolbert and Jennings. It's going to go Tolbert and Jennings in PPR. If Jennings doesn't play, then okay, maybe I will flex McBride.
Well, we need 3 because a receiver and 2 flexes.
Oh, well, we might have to then. Okay, Tolbert, Jennings, and McBride. And Tolbert, Jennings, McBride, and Ingram. Going to be my 4.
There you go. JSN.
Not doing it. I don't care. I don't care if DK is out. I'm not doing it.
Oh, that was your cue. Remember what it stands for.
Oh.
JSN.
Just say no.
Just say no. Nate gets the credit for that. We totally didn't make that up. Ray Harcourt. Hey, Ray. Got here late. Worth picking up Hopkins.
Definitely worth picking up Hopkins.
Yes, definitely. And then speaking of, Trone says he's been holding on to D-Hop. And you were rewarded. He was calling the trade. It happens. So now got Tyreek, Cup, McLaurin, D-Hop, Jason, and Mooney. That's pretty good.
Yes, it is. Well done.
Sir Boomer. Ingram or Goddard?
Definitely Ingram for me. Even if Goddard plays, he's a streamer. Ingram's a must start.
Yeah, even if Goddard plays, that's not even the issue here. I mean, Goddard is playable, but Ingram definitely gets the edge. All right, flex. Deontay, Bucky, Lad, or Downs? Actually, forget Downs. Okay, so forget Deontay. All right, so Lad or Bucky?
Probably Bucky. Lad's okay, but I mean, Bucky gets touches. Bucky could score. Bucky also catches some passes. I think it's Bucky.
I don't know. I'm gonna go Lad because he gets the Saints. Easy matchup here. I mean, this is PPR. Bucky's still playable, but we really know what Boomer's leading to. Remember, he's off Damian Pierce. He's on Lad. Lad's his guy. So this is just an excuse for us to say Lad. So it's got to be Lad.
Well, that is true. Lad is your guy, so you got to go Lad.
This guy. So actually, Boomer, you should be offended at yourself for even questioning, like asking whether it should be Lad.
Yeah.
Christian Diaz, 1984. Amari Cooper or Debo?
I think it's got to be Debo if Debo plays. You got to assume if Debo plays, he's healthy, right? They're not going to, if he's still dealing with pneumonia, they can't, in good conscience, I hope, put him out there. So I got to assume if Debo plays, he's healthy. And I mean, it's going to be the Debo show. So got to be Debo if he plays.
Right. Should be Debo, but and a lot of people are going to say, hey, remember last week when right before game time, they told us that he was going to be sick? Yeah. This is 49ers going to be one of those teams we know we can't trust now with injuries because Kyle Shanahan thinks he's like super clever or like hiding and lying about injuries, which I thought they were supposed to get fined for, but apparently not. If Debo's good, it's Debo. Kraft or Ingram?
Ingram. Still going Ingram. Although Kraft is in an interesting spot this week against the Jaguars, who for whatever reason, can't defend tight ends, but Ingram's should get way more targets here.
Yeah, got to go with the target share for Ingram here. Isaiah Trexler, Dak or Darnold?
That's a tough one, but I think I'm going Darnold against the Rams.
I mean, Darnold is, I guess, a safer pick, although I'm rewinding the mental tape in my head, and I think I said Dak is a top 3 passing yardage pick. So I think I'd probably have to stick with Dak if that's the case. This is tough, though. This is tough. Darnold is the safer pick for sure. Darnold makes more sense. Dak, if you're risking it for upside. George, Kraft or Otten?
I think you probably have to go Otten. You know he's going to get all the targets now. He's got the way higher floor, Otten.
Yeah, no guarantees he has another 100-yard day just because Evans and Godwin out, because that was the Ravens defense, that horrible secondary. But I still feel far better about his target share projected than Kraft. So I'll go Otten as well. Waddle or Najee? It's PPR.
Got to go Waddle in PPR. I know Najee's been pretty good, but this is PPR. Waddle.
Yeah, Najee has been good, and it's a pretty good matchup. But yeah, you gotta assume that Waddle resumes being what he was supposed to be. And George also just watches every start sit. Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
That's funny. All right. Let's see. Keep going down. We do super chats and member questions priority. We'll do some other questions as well, but let's keep catching up here. Derek Gonzalez, Andrews, Chubb, Harrison, pick one to flex. Wow, you get to choose between Nick Chubb, a tight end, or a guy who's been a bust.
Oh, man. It doesn't say what the scoring format is here.
No, that's true.
Nick Chubb against that Ravens run defense. With one knee. Marvin Harrison. Yeah. Who knows? I can't do Andrews. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Harrison.
I know. This is like, okay, well, I don't want to start Nick Chubb and I don't want to flex a tight end. So it's almost like by default. But I agree. I don't want to start Nick Chubb against the Ravens run defense, and I don't want to start. I mean, look, as a tight end, sure, but I'm not going to put Andrews over Harrison, as disappointing as Harrison's been. So yeah, let's go Harrison. He also wants to know, Derek, that is, Murray, May, Rodgers.
Murray. Definitely Murray for me here.
Yeah, definitely Murray here. Serge, Bijan or Brees rest of season?
I mean, hard to pick one of these guys, but I'm still going to go with Brees because I just feel like the last 2 games where Robert Saleh is gone and Nathaniel Hackett's not running the offense, it's been all Brees Hall. Like Braylon Allen is barely even involved. Tyler Algier still gets involved enough to irritate Bijan Robinson. So I'm going to go Brees Hall. Plus, Brees Hall has one of the best rest of season schedules of any running back.
This was already razor thin throughout the offseason, draft season, early season. And I was barely giving the edge to Bijan, but now with the OC change, head coach change, I'm going to go Brees. Full PPR is T. Higgins, Debo, Waddle a good trio? Yeah, it's all right.
They definitely could be a good ER trio. These are guys that at any moment could be in the ER.
Debo's coming straight out of the ER.
Yeah. That is a good wide receiver trio, Serge. Yes.
And then Anthony wants to know Jake Ferguson or Mark Andrews.
I'm still going Jake Ferguson here. I know Mark Andrews has been great, but man, he gets the Browns this week. That is not a good matchup. I know Ferguson gets 49ers, not a great matchup either, but they haven't been great against tight ends this year. I still like Ferguson better.
Yeah, I think based on matchup this week, we go Ferguson. Apparently, I have some subconscious, maybe undeserved confidence in Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense for this week. I don't even know why. 410 Braxton and Anthony apparently has the same dilemma. What do you know about Sutton this week? Would you rather go Tolbert or Worthy? Funny that you should ask about Sutton.
Definitely not Worthy. You have major trust issues with Worthy. Tolbert is interesting, but I think I still go Sutton.
I do like Sutton this week. No guarantees, but this is basically what Anthony said down below. This could be a nice bounce back. I can't really call it squeaky wheel because he's not complaining and it's not like there's anything wrong here, but I think they're going to make up for last week and not getting him a target. And man, it's just such a good matchup. So I like Sutton. Andres Huerta. Welcome back, Andres. Brutal without Tua, but we've managed. Nice. 5-2. If only the actual Dolphins team had managed better. Thoughts for week 8. Tua, Achane, Jones, Tyreek. Nice. AJB, Pitts, Connor. On the bench is Laporta, Chuba, D-Hop, Jason, Waddle, Wandale. Yeah, you're definitely glad you got Tua back. You have the whole Dolphins offense.
Yeah, I want to get Waddle in my lineup this week, but I don't think you can bench any of these guys. I mean, maybe I could move. Is this full PPR? It is. Maybe I could move Connor in over Achane and start Waddle at the flex, but I think you're okay either way, honestly. Achane probably the higher floor because of his touches.
Yeah, Connor in a good spot. I mean, he came through 100 yards, even against one of the toughest run defenses of the Chargers. Yeah, I would just leave it the way you have it. I mean, you're now finally good again. Now this, again, will not be a homer pick for me. Carlos Robles Calderon, Burrow or Tua?
I'm definitely going Burrow here.
Yes, definitely going Burrow. This could be a very good statistical week for Burrow. WC Kid is 2-5. All right, who to start here? Needs 2 in a flex. Got Bijan, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Ray Davis, wide receiver Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Waddle, Harrison, JSN, Bateman, Odunze. And then is Bo Nix a good start? I think good might be strong.
Yeah, he's startable. Like he's desperation starting in one QB league. It's not the worst. You gotta go Bijan and Aaron Jones at running back. Man, I think I go Cooper Waddle at wide receiver.
And then the flex.
Between Dobbins and Wilson. Dobbins is in a smash spot this week. Like Dobbins should go off.
Yeah.
But it's full PPR. I still might flex Dobbins this week. I think he has the upside.
I'm gonna do that. I like Dobbins. You got 3 good running backs. I can see why maybe you struggle. It's the receivers. It's the receivers. Amari Cooper is mostly busted. Waddle has been unplayable. Harrison, let's face it, in fantasy he's been bust. So hopefully the move to Buffalo helps Cooper. Tua being back is obviously going to help Waddle. Who knows with Harrison? Who knows? So don't give up, though. Don't give up because you still have a lot of good players on here. For work, I wonder your thoughts on this. I don't think you're going to hate this. He just dropped both Pat Mahomes and Sam Laporta.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I don't hate it. I do wonder. Although Jameson Williams only had 1 target last week, and Sam Laporta still did nothing. But I do wonder maybe with Jameson Williams out, at least for the next 2 weeks, do we see a little more Sam Laporta? But I certainly don't hate this.
Yeah, this is just. I mean, yeah, who'd have thought we'd been here halfway through the season? And you're like, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. The number 1 tight end in most drafts. Top quarterback in the league most years. It's just the way it goes. Mike Altawheel. Finally, his team is healthy. Got Hurts, Henry Mason, Hill, Cup, Ingram, Neighbors. Got Hopkins on the bench. Got Monty, Thomas, Pickens, Taylor. Hey, Taylor might come back too. I mean, it's sounding optimistic, I think.
Yeah, I think Taylor plays this week, so I'm going Henry Taylor at running back. Yeah, Hill, Cup, Ingram, Neighbors. Yeah. If Taylor plays, which it sounds like he's going to, I'm putting Taylor in over Mason.
Right. You have a lot of good players on the bench. You don't know how deep this league is. Man, Mike, you got a stacked team either way. And then Chief Perp always has a stacked team. Here it is. Double flex league. Jefferson, AJ, Bijan, Walker, Drake, Jacobs. On the bench, Zay Flowers, Jaden Reed, J.K. Dobbins, Waddle, Thomas, Dell, and Stevenson.
You can't bench Jefferson. You can't bench any of those guys. You got
No, I don't think so. Asking, are any of these players droppable for Hopkins? I don't think so. No. I'm on the fence with Dell. I mean, I like Dell a lot this week. And I'm thinking, okay, well, Nico comes back. Hopkins is the number 1 there, and Tank is number 2/3. Well, really number 3. So maybe if you're thinking long term and you're not starting Dell anyways, maybe you could drop Dell for him. You're not really that deep at running back, so I wouldn't drop Stevenson. So that's it. But don't change your lineup. All right, a couple of quickies here. Let's do some of the regular chats. Let's do. Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't even know if I want to put this up, but now I have to. Chris, what do you think of Chris's question? Rachaad White or Javonte Williams?
I'm going Javonte Williams here all day against Panthers.
Yeah, now this is interesting because you'll see we talk about both these players on an upcoming video that may be coming out in the next 2 days. But I do like Rachaad White this week. But yeah, I think you have to play Javonte. But that's an interesting one. Zip Loco, Geno or Darnold rest of season?
Well, I don't really want to make this decision rest of the season. These are guys I feel like if Darnold's playing the Jets and Geno's playing the Jaguars, I'll play Geno over Darnold that week or something like that. But if I had to pick, it would be Darnold.
Agree with that. If you have to pick one, Darnold. Access MIA, Kelsey or Andrews this week?
Kelsey gets the Raiders this week. Doesn't Kelsey? The Raiders are one of those teams. Like there's certain players that they just own certain teams. Like they just always go off against those teams. Kelsey always goes off against the Raiders, I feel like.
Yeah, and all the news is going to be Hopkins being out there. He'll be out there somewhat. Doesn't mean he'll lead the team in receiving. It doesn't mean Kelsey won't. So, yeah, go Kelsey this week. Speaking of the Chiefs, Jay Oliveira wants to know, Xavier Worthy or Juwan Jennings?
Definitely Juwan Jennings. I mean, it's Xavier Worthy at this point. Yeah, Jennings.
Not startable. The real Superman is looking for a flex. Kamara, White, and Javonte. You go Javonte over Kamara. Did we say Javonte over Kamara earlier? We said somebody over Kamara. Was it Javonte or somebody else?
We did. How did we get here? I mean, you can't feel like hopefully one more week of Spencer Rattler, and then we get Derek Carr back. I never thought I'd be so excited to see Derek Carr back, but yeah, I might just go Javonte this week.
Yeah, go Javonte. You have Mixon and Kyron. Yeah, I mean, this is your flex. Go for upside there. Why not? Carl Williams, hello. Pick 2. DJ Moore, Addison, Christian Watson, Marvin Harrison.
I'm going to go DJ Moore and Addison. Again, if I don't have to play Marvin Harrison, I'm just not going to. And Watson, even riskier than normal now because he's not even out there a lot. So DJ Moore and Addison.
Yeah, this really could be one of those weeks where Watson hits, or it could be Dontavian Wicks. It's like, yeah, this is if you don't have a more secure option, but you do. Go with the first two. Jordan Olson. Do I trade away Gibbs, Sun God, and DK? Okay, to
No.
get, better be good. Jettis, Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins, Devontae Smith. Is this 4 players you're getting?
You're trading away a stud running back, 2 stud wide receivers, and I'm talking like top 10 at their position stud players. Yes, you're getting Justin Jefferson, but then you're getting an okay running back in Tony Pollard, an okay running back in J.K. Dobbins, and a good wide receiver. No. You're trading away 3 studs.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why this looks appealing, but here's the thing. Okay, I think I mostly agree. Jefferson, Sun God, pretty comparable. I mean, I'll say I might slightly prefer Jefferson, but again, stud for stud, right? DK, Devontae Smith, close. I think I prefer DK. So let's say the receivers are almost even. Stud running back for 2 RB2 types. And here's the problem. J.K. Dobbins, and I said this when I also said that I think J.K. Dobbins will boom this week, is after this week, you should be looking to sell J.K. Dobbins. Because, Chris, you pointed out to me is that rushing average keeps going down and his efficiency has dropped every week. Yeah. So tempting, but don't do it. And then flex one, Franklin, QJ, Trey Palmer.
I'm just going to flex Franklin, I guess. QJ, very risky. Trey Palmer, we don't know how this wide receiver room is going to play out. Who is Baker going to target? How are they going to deploy these guys? Franklin was decent last week. It's not a terrible matchup. I'll go Franklin.
Kind of like Franklin, sneaky flex play. That's exactly what you're using him for. I think Trey Palmer's a little too sneaky. And by that, I mean I wouldn't start him. And then, same with QJ. And then Jordan has another question. What are some of your favorite underdog picks for week 8?
Well, I'll be honest, Jordan, I haven't even looked at NFL yet. I've been dabbling in basketball now that the season has started. So I haven't even looked at football yet. Usually on Thursday, I'll do a Thursday night one. Throw one together for Thursday night. But I usually don't start doing the weekend, like the Sunday games, until closer to the weekend, especially when we have like more injury news. I'll tell you the one I have been having fun with, although I haven't hit on it yet, but it's okay, is the touchdown rush. I think it's called like touchdown rush or something like that. So basically you just swipe. You're just picking like, will the guy score or not? Now, obviously, it's very difficult to win that one. But what I like about it is you can a lot of times find guys where you get like 1.2x, 1.3x who actually have touchdown potential. So you can make like 3 or 4 picks for kind of like these. Like, obviously, if you pick Derrick Henry, you're going to get like 0.5x, right? Like, not good odds. That's the one I've been having fun with. Now, I haven't hit on it, but what's cool about it is you can, like, for $5, you could potentially win like $300 to $400 depending on the odds of the guys you pick. So that's the one I've been doing. But I usually, with the NBA started, I decided to start dabbling in that a little bit. So I haven't even looked at the football pick'ems yet, other than the ones we've talked about on the videos. And there aren't a lot of football lines out yet. That's the other thing. Like, they don't really put a lot of football lines out yet.
Yeah, I'll say the ones I like to do them earlier in the week to grab a couple that I feel good about, because of course we break everything down right away on Monday and we do start sit and all this. Okay, so I'll take the ones that I got to take that. Like CJ Stroud, higher in passing yards. I'm taking that right now. Again, if you wait till later in the week, you have a lot more choices. I do sometimes throw in a touchdown one because the odds are greater, and if you hit that makes it more worth it. But I'll just go with the ones that I feel very strongly about. And I think it's a good strategy in general to try to stack a quarterback receiver that you feel good about. Or you can do the opposite too. If you feel like this team's just not going to, do a pair of quarterback receiver and you can go lower. You don't have to always go higher. That's typically what your mind thinks. Like, oh, this guy's going to smash. I'm going to go higher. You can go lower, and sometimes that's even a better thing to do. So I'll go with a combo right now, like Stroud and Stephon Diggs. Actually, his numbers are almost comparable to Tank Dell. So I'll take something like that. Um, Feeling like Tua's being a little underestimated because he's missed so much time. I'll take the higher in passing yards for him and combine it with not Tyreek Hill because it's a little too high, but you can take a chance and go with like Jalen Waddle getting a touchdown. Not bad. Things like that. But we do mention some of our favorite picks throughout the start of the videos, so you guys want to check. And anybody still, for whatever reason, hasn't tried Underdog yet, let me remind you, you can try it, and you can also take not just NFL picks, but NBA picks. But if you haven't tried it yet, as a new customer, you get the free pick. Not Stafford, just getting yards. So if you do that right now, again, try Underdog, just sign up. You get this freebie, you get the deposit match, all the way up to $1,000 worth of bonus cash on your first deposit, and all sorts of goodies. And in fact, now, because reminder, it's still Boostober, you get those profit boost tokens. But also, I just noticed, because I'm going through my Underdog account, looking at the picks right now tonight, they have a 20% NBA boost for your NBA entries. So that's in addition, to just those first time signups. So start taking advantage of those as soon as you sign up.
Actually, this is kind of why I've been dabbling in NBA, because that 20% boost, it's not just like 20% boost for your first NBA pick'em, it's unlimited. So you could literally do like multiple pick'ems and keep using that boost on every single pick. So maybe like you want to do like, I don't know, there's like 4 or 5 guys you want to do picks on in the NBA. You could do like 1 2-man with a boost, another 2-man with a boost. You know what I'm saying? You can mix and match with the boost, and you can apply the boost to every single one of your pick'ems right now, unlimited. I think it goes all the way up till October 27th as well. So if you want to try NBA like I am, I hit last night. I don't know. We'll see if I hit tonight. I'm not saying I'm an expert at NBA because I certainly am not. But hey, you get that 20% boost unlimited. Might as well take advantage of it for the next 5 days.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. In fact, I might be putting together some picks as we talk. Let's keep going to your questions, guys. Jonathan Warby, drop Cedric Tillman or Pop for D-Hop. I mean, I know you just picked him up, but I think you gotta prefer D-Hop.
Yeah, I gotta prefer D-Hop. I mean, I think if you drop on one of these guys, it's got to be Tillman. I think I'm gonna hold Pop.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you gotta pick up D-Hop if he's out there. Let's do Felix LeBron. Speaking of NBA, 6-1. I was almost gonna add it because you're a Lakers fan. The whole thing with Bronny and LeBron, and we could go on about that. I was gonna get what's your, as a Lakers fan, what's your gut reaction to seeing that?
I don't know. I didn't even watch it, to be honest. You can't even watch games out here unless you have Spectrum. We don't have Spectrum. So I don't know. It's fine. It's cool. Like, all right, LeBron gets to play with his son. That's cool. Whatever.
All right, you don't find it like super annoying or anything? Just like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Like, there's more important things to be annoyed by than LeBron James playing with his son.
A wise man indeed you are. All right, 6-1. Baker, Hall, Mason, London, Neighbors, Cup, Waddle, and Kraft. Bucky, Tracy, Tank, Mooney, Jawan on the bench. Collins and Tua. Well, you got to get Tua off IR. Time to cut Bucky?
No, don't cut Bucky. Like, if you need to get Tua off the IR, just cut Baker.
Right.
Like, if you're gonna roll with Tua as your starting QB, which I assume you are, since you've held him on IR this whole time, which I think we found a bigger Tua truther than you. I think Felix, you might be the only one who held Tua on IR this whole time. outside of Superflex and Dynasty, of course.
Besides me.
Yeah, you can just drop Baker.
Right. And if you were in need, to somehow drop somebody else, I wouldn't drop Bucky. I would rather drop Tracy before Bucky, but still, just drop Baker. Craig Book. Stroud or Cousins?
Stroud. Stroud going to be one of my favorite QBs this week for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go Stroud. And here's the thing with Cousins, because I know a lot of people logically will say, look what he did last time. Look at Tampa Bay. I get that. Besides the obvious fact he won't throw for 500 yards a second time in the season, if ever again, just have a feeling it's going to be different, right? I don't feel like with Evans and Godwin out, it's going to be quite the same type of shootout. I don't know. Just don't think it will be. Arthur Swanson. What's up, Arthur? All right, the 12-teamer. Half PPR. He's 5-2. Got Goff, JT Mason, Chase, St. Brown, Kincaid, Swift, Stevenson, Justice Hill, Rico Dowdle, Rashad White, Deontay Johnson, Michael Wilson, Tillman, Dortch, Atwell, Tolbert, Dobbs, Auden, and Juwan Johnson. This is a ridiculously deep bench for your league. Trade Mason.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now is the time to trade Mason. I don't know what you're going to get for Mason right now. Maybe you could get an Olave or a Zay Flowers right now. Maybe a Devonta Smith right now. Maybe a Marvin Harrison if you want to gamble on him getting better in the second half.
This is the time to trade Mason. If it's possible, which you never know, package him with Deontay Johnson, ditch him too, and get a really good receiver if possible. Yeah. And you have a lot of players on your bench. Juwan Johnson? Really? Are you Juwan Johnson? You could probably drop Juwan Johnson for like some sort of running back handcuff or stash. I mean, you're the kind of team here where like the players that talk about the beat the breakout, like you can afford to do that instead of a third tight end. Grab some of those guys. There you go. Yes, trade Mason. Rinkside Rips. Grade the trade. Bigsby for Ridley.
Whoever got Bigsby wins this trade.
I know you lost Godwin and you're looking for a receiver, but we did talk about this at the very, very beginning with the whole DeAndre Hopkins trade thing. Ridley, probably not going to be a big winner here.
I mean, yeah, again, like how many, like what, even if he gets more targets, does it matter? Does it matter?
Yeah, the target share hasn't even been the problem. He's getting targets. No. They're just not good targets. And really, people don't realize that there's not that many targets being vacated here. What did I say? DeAndre Hopkins had like 17 targets this whole year or something like that.
Yeah.
It's much different. Like when Amari Cooper got traded, that was a lot of targets. He was top 10 in targets at the time of his trade. DeAndre Hopkins is not. So, I mean, I hate to say it. I know you were desperate, but for Tank Bigsby, probably should have got something better. This is kind of like a C-.
Yep.
Brother Pickle. Welcome, Brother Pickle. PPR, 6-point passing TD. The last place team is Najee and Mason. Okay, try to sell high on Rashad White, a QB, and someone else to get Olave or Lamar.
I mean, yeah, nothing wrong with that if you can. Olave definitely a good buy low right now. Lamar, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's trading Lamar right now, but maybe. But Olave definitely a good buy low.
I mean, I do kind of like Rashad White now, but sure, you can sell high if somebody's willing to buy and give you something significant. I think that's fine. And also wants to know, drop Michael Wilson for
anybody?
For Franklin.
Yeah, literally for anybody. Sure, drop him.
Franklin, maybe Franklin.
Yeah, I think Franklin might be my number one.
All right, there we go. Big Luscious is in the house.
What's up?
All right, traded away D-Hop, Algier, and Sunbum for Mike Evans before last week. All right, that's a great feeling. No, I don't think it's your fault.
Yeah, I think you'll still like this in the end. You might not like it for the next 4 weeks, but you'll like it in the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you had said Godwin, like, all right, this is just a big fat L.
Yeah.
Just take it and you move on, right? But you're gonna get Evans back. You're gonna get Evans back. HM, Baker, Caleb, or AR?
This week, I'm still going Baker. I still think they're going to need to throw. I still think he'll throw the ball. I'm going to go Baker.
Man, it would have been Caleb a couple of weeks ago, but Commanders defense looks pretty good. And my worry too is that game is just not going to be a high scoring game because, Marcus Mariota at quarterback. So I guess you can go Baker here. PM Chunk is 7-0. Looks like he's going to have to start Caleb. Got Jaden Daniels there. Hall, Gibbs, B-Rob, Dowdle, Debo, BTJ, Mooney, Kincaid. Wants to know, trade away B-Rob to get T. Higgins.
Yeah, give me T. Higgins.
Yeah, you got Hall and Gibbs. You don't even really need B-Rob to start.
Right, you need wide receiver. Debo, BTJ, Mooney. Yeah.
Yes, definitely do this. Anthony G. All right, one more. Oh, this is okay. We're redoing here. Waddle, Cooper, Higgins, Mooney.
Okay, now it's the first three.
Start three. Okay, so the first three, Waddle, Cooper, Higgins. All right.
Yeah.
Keep living out, guys. Yeah, Waddle, Cooper, Higgins. Matthew Temple. Trade. Javante and Amari for Debo and Lockett. Got Evans, Higgins, Cooper, Pittman, McMillan, Tolbert. Thielen? Mixon, Monty, Williams, Stevenson, Rashad White.
I think I do this. I mean, we know Debo, even if he's not 100% this week, when he is 100%, he's going to be a monster without Ayuk. I think I do this just to get Debo. Lock it, like whatever. But I think I do this just to get Debo. And even though I do like Javante this week, he doesn't get to play the Saints and the Panthers every week. So give me Debo here.
I think it's worth it to get Debo because you really don't need Javante because you have Mixon, Monty, Stevenson, So Javante's expendable. Yeah, I think it's worth the upgrade here. Yeah, why not? Actually, now that you've lost Evans, yeah, you probably need more depth at receiver anyways. So there you go. Let's do it. Jenga has a question. Full PPR. Pick 2. Have Brian Thomas, Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, and Marvin Harrison.
I'm going Cooper Kupp.
Cooper, maybe. Leaning.
It's between him, Wilson, and BTJ.
Thomas actually isn't in a bad spot. Brian Thomas.
Well,
I might go Cooper this week though.
Yeah, Cooper's fine. They're pretty close. Cooper's fine.
And asking, since he now has both Jets receivers, would you trade one of them?
Sure. Whichever one gets me the best return, I'll trade him. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty deep at receiver. So if you need an upgrade somewhere else, yeah, you can do this. Somebody out there has got to be high on Devontae Adams now for some reason because he's with Aaron Rodgers. Helal Sob. Start Komet or Laporta?
I'm going Komet. I like Komet this week. I like his matchup. I like the way they use him in this offense. I'm going Komet.
I think you can go Komet as well. Had him as the best tight end streamer for this week. I mean, that's where we're at with Laporta, right? That says more about Laporta than anything.
Yep.
And then Terry, which Jaden's probably out, or Pearsall.
Still got to go Terry here. Not ready to put Pearsall in my lineup.
Yeah, I don't think Pearsall is startable. Do I play Terry while playing the Bears D? Yeah, that doesn't matter. DJ Moore for Swift. Is that fair? So he has DJ Moore, thin at running back, only have Brees and Monty.
I think it's fair. I think it's very fair. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Joe. All right. Drop Tillman for either Palmer, Pearsall, or Shepard. Oh, that's interesting. He says he just picked up Tillman. Well, then you could have picked up those guys already. No, I would keep Tillman.
I would just keep Tillman.
Nah. He's saying it's a 14-teamer. Yeah. Nah, I just keep Tillman. Tillman's good. Good option here. All right. Let's go to Sir Boomers in the chat. Swilly. FN. Needs 2 wide receivers and 1 flex and a 10-teamer. Olave, Harrison, Conkey, Jennings, Chase Brown.
I think Jennings and McConkey are the 2 I feel the best about, sadly. Chase Brown against the Eagles. Marvin Harrison. Olave with Rattler. I guess I'm just going to go here. I guess Jennings, McConkey. You know what? I might just go Jennings, McConkey, Olave, and hope Rattler just targets him relentlessly.
Yeah, I know it's tough to trust, but we haven't really seen Olave with Rattler and vice versa. I mean, maybe there's something. Let's go McConkey, Jennings, Olave. Yeah. Jordan Olson said he traded Etienne for Rachaad White. Do you think his value goes up or down with the injuries? I think it goes up.
It probably goes up for the pass catching. I would still prefer White over Etienne, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think this is a good trade. I'm on board with that. MC, 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 flex, Purdy or Dak?
I'm going Dak this week.
I got to be in on Dak. Biggs, B. Jones, JT, Adams, Etienne. Running back and a flex.
Jones and JT.
Yeah, JT sounding good. Finally, if JT plays, you have to play him and then Jones. If for some reason JT doesn't play, who's next? It doesn't say if it's PPR.
Probably Adams next.
All right. If it's PPR, yeah, I think you go Adams. If it's non-PPR, go Bigsby. What about Luis Rodriguez? In standard, here we go. Got Purdy, Murray, CMC, Mason, Murray. Jacobs, Connor, Higgins, Moore, Cup, Dobbs, Kittle. Trying to trade for Lamar.
No.
That's way too much. Way too much.
If somebody sends me Kyler Murray, CMC, and Mason for Lamar, I'm like, Lamar is all yours. Thank you very much. Yeah, not doing this.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean, look, is there a deal with these players that it's fair to get Lamar that you would do?
Murray and Dobbs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like Murray's been fine. I know Murray's been frustrating, but he's fine if he's your QB1. Look, I know Lamar's been awesome, but it doesn't mean like Lamar's going to do this all year here. So I think at the end of the year, you'll be happy you kept CMC and Mason.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a standard league. CMC and Mason. Why would you get rid of that for a quarterback? So no, don't do that. MC. Speaking of quarterbacks, was offered Jordan Love for Bigsby and Etienne. So he'd be giving up the Jags to get Love when he already has Dak and Purdy.
Nah, you already have Dak and Purdy. What you need a third QB? I would just hold Bigsby. Again, I'm just not I'm not trading for a QB unless I'm desperate at QB and you're not. And even then, I don't know if I want to trade for a QB. So I don't think you need to do this.
Not a significant upgrade. Jordan Love has been good. But Jordan Love isn't like running away with the MVP. He's not lighting the fantasy world on fire. Dak is going to be playable many weeks. Purdy is playable many weeks. So, it's just not worth it. But you know, it's always worth it. Always. Shark 2 on DVD. Start 2. All right, now we're getting interesting. This is a super flex league. We got Bo Nix, Drake May, and Jameis Winston.
I think I'm going Nix and Jameis. You guys all feel very similar to me, but May against the Jets, I think he's the one I want to sit.
Yeah, I know you're looking at May and like he's been really good, but it's more like he's been pretty good and he's got a lot of garbage time stats. It's possible he does it again, but yeah, the matchup is far different. He's not getting the Jags, he's getting the Jets. So Jameis has a great matchup, really. It's ideal. It's just too bad, his best receivers, Jerry Jeudy, and then Cedric Tillman, but he can make those guys at least decent. He's got David Njoku. So, and I kind of, for the first time, like Bo Nix. All right, run CMC. What is up? Are you dropping JMO with the 2-game suspension or Ricky Pearsall?
I'm dropping. If I have to choose, I'm dropping Pearsall.
Yeah.
It's only, what if Jameson Williams, like, I don't know, had what's like a minor, I don't know, like whatever DK Metcalf is dealing with. We're like, oh, he might miss a couple games and then he'll be fine. Would you drop Jameson Williams?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think anybody would drop Jameson. Like, why are we dropping him just because he's suspended for 2 games? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why all of that's like drop him. Drop Pearsall.
Yeah, and I know people are saying the upside with Pearsall. And yeah, I mean, I talked about stashing Pearsall, but it's going to take time. I mean, stash if you have room, but if you need a spot, then you don't have room. And then starting DJ Moore, Deontay. Okay, well, you know what? You can drop Lazard to keep Pearsall. How about that?
Yeah, I would just drop Lazard. I probably would drop. I would probably start Pearsall over Deontay Johnson this week, honestly.
Yeah. Well, luckily, I think he has DJ Moore. We can start DJ Moore.
Yes.
Low key ballin'. Trade Mason for Pickens or Olave.
Yeah, either one. I would prefer Olave, but either one. I would trade him for either one of these guys.
Yes, this is a good deal. This is fair. It's not, you're not ripping off the other guy. It's equitable, but you're making the smart move. Obviously, you can afford to give up Mason. Yes, exactly. Do this. Olave first choice. Arthur Swanson. Do we play in leagues where the listeners can join? We do, actually.
Yep. We got a couple dynasty leagues. We got a couple redraft leagues. We got 4 redraft leagues, 2 each. So, yes, we definitely do. We definitely will.
Yeah, the good news is it's fun. We get to play with you all, whoever wants to join, and it's definitely competitive. The bad news is it's very competitive. We can't make these these things we talk about. Pick up this player, trade this. Yeah, we can't do that because you guys know exactly what we said on the videos and the streams, and you're too smart. So we don't always win those leagues. I mean, we did win a couple last year, but yeah, this year has been definitely tougher sledding for definitely my leagues.
Same with me.
Man. But yeah, we will definitely open up some more leagues next year as well. So hang tight. It's around the corner. Deshaun Davis. How worried should I be about Marshawn Lloyd coming back if you own Josh Jacobs?
Not very worried. No, this was like people freaking out about Audric Estime. Not very worried.
I haven't heard anything specifically about Lloyd. I mean, I think he's eligible to be activated. Has he been? He hasn't been, though, has he? Not that I know
I
of.
don't think so. Let me see. What was the latest?
I mean, I think what I heard last week is that he's still not really that close to coming back. He's still going to need some time. Again, we're talking a couple of weeks. And then even if he's active in a couple of weeks, I mean, how many touches is he really getting off the bat, you know?
Yeah, I haven't even seen anything about them. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, right now, how worried should you be about Marshawn Lloyd? Probably 0%. And then in a couple of weeks, I wouldn't even say worried. You might monitor the situation, but yeah, like Marshawn Lloyd's a guy I was really big on, and now regret drafting in a lot of best ball leagues. I mean, he got hurt; it happens. So bad luck. I like Lloyd, but now that he's just barely getting in the mix mid-season, and Jacobs is a workhorse, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, if I have Chuba Hubbard, am I worried about Jonathan Brooks? Yes, I'm worried about Jonathan Brooks, but that's different too. All right. Anthony M. Darnold or Caleb?
I'm going Darnold this week. Again, Commanders defense has been much better the last 4 weeks. We can't treat this Commanders defense as the fantasy gold mine they were earlier in the year. Sam Darnold against the Rams, I'm taking that.
Right. Yeah. Again, the Commanders defense no longer a pushover. Not saying they're a shutdown defense or anything, but yeah, I would say you have to start Caleb Williams. Just go Darnold here. Jonathan Lee. Ooh, it's 2-5 in a 12-man PPR league. Just broke the 5-game losing streak. All right. It's a good time to turn around.
Let's get a 5-game winning streak going. Let's go.
Hey, look, Achan now in that offense. Back to life. Amari out of Cleveland. You could do it. Okay, I don't know. Are we setting a lineup here, or just, I guess, what do you think of this? Looks got Chase Brown at the flex. Would you go a guy like Jennings maybe, or Tolbert?
Yeah, I think I got to go Jennings if he plays over Chase Brown. I might even Chase Brown. Not a good matchup for the Bengals running backs. Feels like a game where they're going to throw a lot. So yeah, Jennings number 1 choice, Tolbert probably number 2.
Yeah. I mean, Chase Brown is a flex option, but I'm going to go in full PPR with the upside of Jennings, assuming he's good to go. So yeah, and you do have a good starting lineup. You got the Broncos defense. Hey, that's good. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. 2 in a row. All right, let's do Andrea. Welcome, Andrea. That same game. Kyler or Tua?
Kyler. I'm still going Kyler.
I will go Kyler too, because the Dolphins, yeah, their pass defense isn't terrible, but their run defense is, and Kyler will run it a fair amount. I do like Tua as a streaming option this week, but Kyler is still okay. He's still fine. I think he's going to have as much upside as Tua, but without, that risk, relatively speaking. Deshaun Davis wants to know, would you start Cade Otton or Hunter Henry?
Cade Otton, definitely.
Yeah. So you look at last week, both these guys had big games, but the difference, as we mentioned earlier, is Hunter Henry basically benefited from Demario Douglas not playing. Douglas went out, wasn't it first quarter that he was sick? It was first quarter, so was it early second quarter?
Yeah, it was like all game. He was kind of just in and out, not playing a lot of snaps. It was very, very annoying. Very annoying.
Yeah, and even when he was in there, he obviously wasn't feeling very well. I mean, he was basically a non-factor. He was out. And this is the slot receiver, not just the top target for the Patriots, but their slot receiver. So Henry soaked up all those targets, which is why I don't want to fall for him as a trap this week. But also, Cade Otton is going to need to absorb more targets now because remember that whole game, Chris Godwin was in, and only till the very last second he went out. Not saying Otten's going to have 100 yards again. Not saying Otten's going to be the number one target even necessarily, but I definitely feel better about Otten than Henry this week. I guess we have to say rest of season because Godwin is not coming back, unfortunately. So yeah, it's Otten. It's Otten here. All right, let's Well, following this up, Jennifer wants to know to drop Komet for Henry. No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, this is what I was saying. Henry feels like a trap this week. Komet is still a solid pick. In fact, you like Komet quite a bit this week based on matchup, don't you?
I do like Komet.
All right, let's see. Looks like we're caught up on Super Chats. We're going to do some of the other questions here. Just a reminder, if you want to guarantee your question gets answered, then yes, you can drop a Super Chat, but it doesn't mean we won't answer it otherwise. Oh, well, Deshaun's just got another one. And let me also mention the app we got. It's called Draft Lane. So if you do have questions either later tonight that you think you didn't get to put on here, or you didn't get to chat right now, or something comes up tomorrow before we stream, or you just prefer doing it offline. I keep saying that, but it's really online because it's an app, but you know what I mean. Not live. On the app, you can use this. It's Draft Lane. It's our app. Just download it for free from the App Store or the Google Play Store. And it's basically this. You can ask us your questions for start sit, waiver wire trade, or more, anything fantasy football related, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So check it out now if you don't already have it. All right, there's Deshaun Davis's question. Are you starting Demario Douglas coming off the illness, or Jalen McMillan stepping into a lead role?
I'm going Demario Douglas. I talked about him very, very early in the stream. This is actually a good matchup for Demario Douglas. I know he disappointed last week, but that was illness. I'm going Douglas. Let me see how this Tampa Bay passing game looks before I trust McMillan.
Yeah, McMillan definitely a good pickup. Tempting to start him, but again, just because you picked somebody up, regardless of how much fab or waiver priority or whatever, you don't have to start him. We can take a wait and see approach. This isn't a guaranteed smash. And I think we just have to kind of give Douglas a pass for last week because it was, again, not an injury. It wasn't he got shut down. It was he happened to get sick. So there you go. Blair saying, I don't know if he didn't hear him. Maybe we missed it. If we did, sorry. Okay, Blair Davis here. Yeah, I don't remember this. Should I trade Bucky and Mooney for Dowdle and Devontae Smith?
Yeah, I'm just going to take the Dowdle Devonta Smith side here because I just feel like you're getting the best player in Devonta Smith. Like Dowdle, Bucky, close. I probably I maybe slightly prefer Bucky, but that's close. But I definitely prefer Devonta Smith more than anybody in this trade. So give me the Dowdle Smith side.
Yeah, Mooney has been solid, but Devontae Smith is, look, again, forget last week. Last week happened. Okay, fine. He missed a couple of weeks because of concussion. It happens. So it feels on the whole like he's been underwhelming, but it really hasn't been anything with him as far as performance-wise or targets or anything. I think Devontae Smith is the guy you want here. So, yeah. Michael Bryan. What's up, Michael? Just, I believe just got that membership yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I think so, right. Yes.
Good to see you back on here. So he's got Hurts, Mixon, Bijan, Aaron Jones, B-Rob, Stevenson, Pickens, DK Jennings, Deontay Sutton, Tillman, Njoku, Kraft, Stroud, Darnold. It's non-PPR and IDP and team defense. All right.
Wow. All right.
But asking about receivers.
Yeah. I don't really care about my wide receiver situation in non-PPR, but I feel like you have good non-PPR wide receivers outside of Deontay. I mean, if you could still trade Deontay, trade Deontay. But I mean, Pickens great in non-PPR, DK great in any format. Jennings probably going to get a boost in non-PPR. Sutton, I feel like, is great in non-PPR because he's one of those guys not going to get a lot of catches, but he can get yards and touchdowns. I would be fine with this wide receiver situation in non-PPR, honestly. Like, it's non-PPR. Like, what? How good are any wide receivers in non-PPR?
Yeah, and you're looking for touchdown upside. You got it with DK Pickens. These are, like you said, the type of receivers you prefer. They can get chunks of yardage, big plays, and touchdowns. So that's it.
In fact, I'm looking right now. Wide receivers in non-PPR. The wide receiver 1 is Jamar Chase at a whopping 14 points per game. Chris Godwin was at 12. Justin Jefferson's at 13. And then the next guys are like at 11. Jaden Reed, Drake London, BTJ at 11. Then you got Alan Lazard and DK at 10. Like, this just doesn't matter. It just doesn't. I mean, honestly, it just really, you got good wide receivers for non-PPR. Then you look at running back. I have to go all the way down to running back 17 to find the first guy who averages 10 points a game. It's just wide receivers barely matter in that format, honestly.
There you go. You're 5-2 because you have good running backs. Yeah, so can stand pat and be fine with this, except you're saying if you can sell high, or I don't know, I guess it's not high anymore, but you can sell DeAndre, you can do that.
Yeah, if you somehow can sell DeAndre, I don't know what you're getting for him.
Yeah, I'm also looking. I mean, Michael, you're saying it's non-PPR, IDP, whatever, but it's not super flex, is it? Because you got Stroud and Darnold on your bench. I mean, do you need all these quarterbacks? Probably not. Just stash some more running backs. I mean, Stroud's trade value is not very high right now. Maybe you can trade Darnold. I don't know. But maybe after this week, if Stroud does go off as expected, you can do something there. All right, but you're good. All right, Anthony M. Which receivers to start? Already got T. Higgins for second receiver. Jennings, Douglas, Tolbert, and Pittman.
I think Jennings would be my number 1 if he plays. Douglas, my number 2.
Yep. If Jennings plays, I think probably even if Debo plays, which I'm assuming Debo is going to play, although you never know, I think you can go Jennings. I don't know if you need. Well, yeah, you're saying T. Higgins is your second receiver, so I'm assuming you just need one more. Brother Pickle, I don't think you have to worry about this. Puka playing tomorrow?
Puka's not playing tomorrow. They just opened up his practice window. He hasn't even been activated yet. I doubt they're going to activate him before tomorrow.
Yeah, almost no chance that Puka plays, so you don't have to worry about it. Jason Priddle. Come back, Jason. Thanks for the advice. Got the W. Nice. Yeah, Dell sure didn't boom, but all right. Appreciate you, Jason. Thank you. Ricardo Andrade. 10 team, full. Stroud or Caleb?
Stroud. Not many quarterbacks I have over Stroud this week.
Right. 2 running backs in the flex. Hubbard, B-Rob, Javonte, Etienne, Dobbs.
I'm going to go Javonte and Brian Robinson, and then I'm going to flex Dobbs.
Yeah, I'm not starting Etienne anywhere. Man, normally I would just like to say Hubbard, but Bryce Young is back, unfortunately. Back to kill the vibes. So B-Rob, Javonte, and Dobbs. Ingram or Kincaid? It's got to be Ingram.
Got to go Ingram.
Should I pick up Auden? Well, not if you have Ingram.
Yeah, I mean, how many tight ends do you need?
Yeah, I'm not saying he can break out like Trey McBride. I don't think it's the same thing. I know it's not the same thing. I'll tell you why I know it's not the same thing. Remember, Trey McBride was the number 1 tight end in his class. Remember, last year's rookie tight end draft class was like historically good. We saw that. The year before that, it wasn't. It was Trey McBride and then not much else. And Trey McBride just happened to do nothing as a rookie. His breakout is really not surprising, not only because they had nobody to throw to a receiver, but he was supposed to be the best tight end in his class. He's supposed to be that guy. Kid Auden is fine, but I don't think he's ever going to be to that level. So, Andrea's got a Tank Dell question. remember we asked this already. We answered this. Dell or Waddle?
I'm going Waddle. I do like Dell this week. I think he rebounds, but with Tua back, I'm just starting Waddle.
Yeah, I do like them both, but got to go Waddle here. All right. Yeah, Michael said it's not super flex. Yeah, you really don't need 3 quarterbacks then.
Right.
Stinger is in the house.
What's up?
All right, let's go. White, Dowdle, Chubb, McConkey, the Giants running backs, McMillan, a running back and a flex.
I'm going White and Ladd. I assume it's PPR, but I mean, even if it's not, I'm probably still going White and Ladd.
Do you like White this week? And McConkey didn't quite boom, but I think he'll be fine. Much better matchup this week against the Saints. So I like Ladd. Again, not for like some crazy high ceiling, but I think I feel better about him than these guys.
He said it's half PPR, but I still probably go White and Ladd.
Yeah, I still go White. And he's asking, not a Hubbard week. Don't think so. Not with Bryce Young.
With Bryce Young back against the Broncos, who've been fairly good against the run, really against everything this year. Yeah.
I don't know about this. Flexing him over Dobbs, non-PPR. I'll go Dobbs over Hubbard for sure.
Dobbs gets the Jags.
Yeah. Not that Hubbard's going to do absolutely nothing, but I think the days, unless something changes, who knows? Maybe this is just that Andy Dalton sprained his finger or whatever. Maybe next week he comes back. Is that even good anymore? Like, do we still want Andy Dalton in? I'm not even sure if that's better. It was for like 2 weeks. Yeah. Anthony M. Got another one here. Rashad White at the flex or Douglas, Pittman, Madison.
I would say Madison, but it's the Chiefs. So, nope, not doing that. Pittman gets Anthony Richardson. Douglas. It's close between Douglas and White for me. Probably just go White.
Well, again, I feel like I'm spoiling like all the picks here for the Boom video, but you guys will probably forget. Hopefully watch it anyways, so we talk about them. I like Rashad White. Think he could have a sneaky big game here. So yeah, I would flex White. It's PPR. That's a good thing for him. All right, Jason's got a question here. Jason Priddle. Trade B-Rob, Pollard, and McBride for London, Achane, and Kraft. He's got 2 good running backs already.
Yeah, you got to take the London Achane Kraft side. You're getting one of the best wide receivers. You're getting what should be now a stud running back again. I'm fine giving up McBride for Kraft. You got London Achane side by a mile for me.
Yeah, because the only way you can even see that this might not be a huge win for the London side is, McBride for Kraft. Like, so what? Like, McBride hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll be a solid tight end. Out of all tight ends, you still start him. But come on, are you really losing that much? In fact, I don't know if I'm going to look it up, but I wonder out loud, what's the difference right now between Tucker Kraft and Trey McBride in terms of total fantasy points? I bet you it's not even that different because Kraft has scored, 3-4 touchdowns? So,
the difference is 0.4.
0.4.
And 0.4, and Kraft actually has the edge. Although I will say, in defense of McBride, did the Cardinals have their bye week already? They must have had because he missed a game, so they must have had their bye week.
Yeah, okay, one less game, but still.
But Kraft, if you look at points per game, it's 11.9 for McBride, 10.2 for Kraft. It's barely a difference.
Right, that's the point. It's kind of the same here. So yeah, definitely take the London Achane side if that's what you're getting. Hopefully that's what you're getting. And then Deshaun Davis wants to know Douglas or the newly acquired, possibly D-Hop.
This week I'm going to go Douglas just because D-Hop, you don't know how much he's going to play, what his role is going to be. Just go Douglas. He should be fine this week.
Right. Going forward, it'll pretty much be Hopkins. But this week, you can go Douglas. This is This is an interesting trade offer. Let's do Carter Newell. Should he trade Achane and Cooper for Evans and Taylor?
I want Evans and Taylor. I definitely want Evans. I still prefer JT to Achane, and I prefer Evans to Cooper. Yeah, you got to deal with like 4 weeks of no Evans here, but then you'll be happy. I want Evans and Taylor.
The timing of this is very interesting, not just with Evans, of course, being out the next 4 weeks. JT coming back, okay, but then Achane, yeah, this is the wild card. What are you getting, or what are you giving up with Achane? I think we got to look long term here. I think you still have to prefer JT to Achane, even if it's only by a little bit, and you should prefer Evans to Cooper, even in Buffalo. So, and then somebody asked, "What's your record?" He says he's 6-1. He can afford to wait for Evans.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. That answers it. Royland has entered the chat. What's up? Oh, I'm sure he's loving the D-Hop trade. Royland, of course, Chiefs fan. One running back, one receiver, one flex. Tank, Bucky, Tracy, DJ Moore, Waddle, Worthy, Jennings. Also, Pittman is on waivers. Would you drop one of those dudes for him?
I mean, I feel like you probably should drop one of those dudes for Pittman, but what's the realistic expectations for Pittman?
Oh, man.
I mean, do we just drop Tracy for Pittman? I mean, Tracy just stuck in this split with Singletary.
Yeah, I think you can do that. Tracy for Pittman.
Yeah. And then I'm going to start Tank at running back, Waddle at wide receiver, and I think I still got to flex DJ Moore, or vice versa. Either way there.
Yeah, exactly. Waddle and DJ Moore. 3P. Nobody wants to hear about a 3P. Come on. Team Kung Fu Cats. 6-1 also. Half PPR. Lost Godwin. Pacheco. Okay, it was offered Achane, Stroud, and Bowers for Josh Allen, Devontae Smith, and Kraft. Okay, I have to process this.
I think I take this. I mean, okay, you're getting the QB downgrade with Stroud, but he should be okay. You're getting a massive up. I mean, Bowers looking like the tight end one, and you're getting a stud running back now. I think I take the Achane Bowers side just to get Achane and Bowers.
Yeah, the only way you're downgrading is at quarterback, but if Achane comes through, that's a huge win. Of course, Bowers a very huge win. Yeah, you're 6-1. You lost Godwin, but that's what's weird here. You're saying lost Godwin. You're saying you got offered. When you say it this way, got offered, I'm assuming you're getting the Achane, Stroud, Bauer side. So if you lost your receiver, you're giving up Devontae Smith. That would be a little odd, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So maybe you're giving up Achane, Stroud, and Bowers, in which case I keep Achane, Stroud, and Bowers.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Well, yeah, if you lost Godwin, you probably don't want to give up Devontae Smith. So if that's the case, then don't. All right, let's see. Dustin wants to know, is Lamb going to be Lamb?
I think so. This is what the Cowboys do. This is what they did last year. This is what they do. I think so.
I think so too. I mean, Troy Aikman calling him out, whatever. They don't care about all that. You can say that they've been lollygagging and doing whatever. They'll be fine. Look, they will have bad games. This is just what the Cowboys do. And then they'll come back and have big games. So I think this could be a good spot for them. All right. Well, we're pretty much all current here on the chat. So you guys have anything else you definitely want to answer for tomorrow? We will be back for sure tomorrow to stream before the Thursday night game. So definitely catch that if you haven't already. hit the subscribe, the like, and notification so you know as soon as we go live. We'll definitely do that. Of course, Draft Lane. Don't forget the app. You can use that to get in touch with us anytime. Download Draft Lane for free, App Store, Play Store. You can ask all your questions that way. And don't forget about the underdog special. You got till tomorrow to use it. The free pick of Matt Stafford. Just take higher than 0.5 total yards. It's a freebie for you if you're the very first time signing up on Underdog using code NGAME. You still get those boosts, and you can also take picks not just for NFL, also for NBA, any sport that's active. So make sure you do it if you haven't already. All right, I think that pretty much does it. Unless we got any last-second super chats, which we do tend to get, but otherwise, we'll say that we will see you guys all tomorrow. Don't forget all the start sit videos that are already out, and the still videos coming out this weekend. All right, guys, thanks for being on here.